Kanpai!
Kanpai!
Loz, you could hear it, and you still missed the cue.
No, because instead of focusing on it, I was like, "Oh, that's some really."
He was enjoying the music.
Well, you were dancing just like I was.
Kanpai!
Yeah. We can all hear it now.
You won't be able to hear the back, or you shouldn't be able to hear the background music, though.
No. I mean, I was saying to everyone.
Yes, they can hear it. You can hear it.
We can hear it now. We can hear it now.
A whole new audio world has opened up to you. Sorry.
What do we use it for? An intro. There you go.
Yep.
Right. So, welcome, weebs, to episode 70 of Kanpai Cast. Of course, I forgot I was doing the intro, and thus having a Haribo was the best idea ever. This week, we'll be talking about Autumn 2022, or Fall 2022, if that's what you want to call it, and we're going to do the full season review. But straight on to housekeeping. So, this episode, and every episode, has timestamps included in the description below, so you can zoom in directly to the parts of the show that you're most interested in. Or skip over the spoilers for the shows you haven't seen yet. And I can tell you right off the bat now, the three of us have all seen Gundam. There's gonna be spoilers in Gundam. If you haven't seen Gundam, you're gonna want to be mindful of that one. YouTube also has a chapters feature, but rather than tell you about it, let's make it a game of hide and seek, because that's what they do. I don't feel we should encourage that, but okay, Nasuth. Right. So I'm gonna also ask everyone to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell for the notifications. Now, where's my paycheck? I kind of feel like that should have been one of you who read that out.
Yeah, fair enough.
But regardless, yes, all likes, comments, subscriptions, and bell ringings all help with the algorithm. So, and apparently, no swearing in the first, I think it's 8 to 15 seconds. ProZD did a big thing about this.
Yup.
Apparently, a lot of YouTubers have had a lot of their videos demonetized because of this. And also to talk about the charity. So the charity stream we're going to do. If you want to bring up the asset, Nasuth.
That's
cool.
all right.
That's fine. Nasuth can sort that out while I'm continuing to talk. So on Saturday, January 28th, from 1 p.m. GMT, which is where Loz and I are, or 8 a.m. Eastern America time, which is where Nasuth isn't. We're going to be doing 24 hours in Elden Ring. Isn't that right?
Should have done this one first, because that's the one that actually has laws in it.
Yeah. Cool. So we're gonna have special guests on. We've got a lot of we've got familiar faces. We've got some new faces, and so currently we have was it 6 or 5 remaining slots to fill in the 24 hours, and so looking forward to that. It's
I'm
gonna
really
be hell.
looking forward to that. Yeah. This is the first Souls game you've ever played, isn't it, Loz?
I have played like about a few hours worth.
That's right. I've asked before. Yeah.
But not the. I mean, all I really remember, it was a third person, though, and it was like,
we don't count.
I went the wrong way to start with, and the skeleton. I was like, oh, a skeleton, and it just.
Yup.
Tried again. I'm like, oh, they're excited, and I'm like, oh wait, I can go up instead of down. Okay, here's things that actually make a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
I didn't get
That's about right. That's about right.
Right. So, moving on to the topics for this week, or topic singular, we are going to be doing, the full season review of Autumn 2022. Nasuth, feel free to put up the background. And so first of all, there's a huge list of shows we are not actually covering.
Oh, wait, I didn't refresh this, haha.
Well, it's a good thing I've got it refreshed. So,
yeah.
It's fine.
We've got this all over the place now.
Yeah. So, why is this stuff appearing? Nasuth broke it. Fine. So, first of all, we're not covering Housing Complex C, Immoral Guild,
finished?
Legend of Mana, the Teardrop Crystal, Tatami Time Machine Blues, The Human Crazy University, Tiger and Bunny, Golden Camway, Bibliophile Princess. I've somehow gotten stronger when I've improved my farming related skills, do it yourself, and I'm the villainess, so I'm taming the final boss. So we're not going to be covering those shows.
Some of them we dropped because we didn't want to, and others, sadly, we just didn't get around to Christmas. Just, it was a bad year. It was just bad timing, and Xeno's hack. It all just lined up that we didn't get everything we wanted to done in time.
And then, also, like, Housing Complex C and Tiger and Bunny finished way early. I mean, Tiger and Bunny all came out at once, but yeah. And Golden Camway is not done yet? No, it got delayed, didn't it?
It got halfway through, and then they delayed it. So...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alas.
Right.
C'est la vie.
So, moving on to the main stuff, the actual stuff we are going to talk about. I'm going to start with Arknights. So, hopefully that will kick over. It did kick over. Good.
Hey.
I'm going to give this a rating of... Unfortunately, I have to give it nothing special. Alright? Which is kind of sad. A lot of what contributes to this rating is...
Oh, hang on. Before I was just going to say, for anyone who hasn't watched this before, our rating system is a 5-point scale. It starts at the lowest value of poop. Then we go up to pass. Then we have nothing special. So that nothing special, this is why I wanted to say it, because you started this one, it's a good choice there.
Sure.
Though we say nothing special, that doesn't mean that this is a bad thing to watch. It's just, it's mid. It's middle. It's the mid, I don't mean a bad way. It's the middle of our scale. It wasn't awful, but it didn't inspire either.
Yeah, you'd have to be a really big fan of Arknights to begin with, I think.
Not necessarily. I think if you have more information, more knowledge of what you're going to be experiencing things, then you're fine. But the other two sides to this scale are acquired taste, which I would argue is we like it, but it's not going to be for everyone. And then a must watch, which is like, how could this not be for everyone?
I know that
acquired taste is kind of like... Sorry, yes, go ahead.
I know we have this, just before we forget this, we keep making ideas for the show. In fact, I think we came up with the stamps for doing this. It might be good to have an asset which has all 5 lined up.
Sure.
You can turn it on and off. We should always begin that to show people.
Yeah. We can do that. Right. I say I can do that, yes.
well, Nasuth will make the asset.
It'll be a collaborative.
No, just put it, anyway. Right, so, talking about Arknights, I've already given it a nothing special. I've got to say, the biggest pain point for this series is that it's just 8 episodes. Right? Now, I thought it was a case of, it's going to be starting late, so it's going to be finishing late. No, it is just 8 episodes. And, you get into what feels like, this is really starting to kick off now. And then it's just and that's the end. Like, what? What the hell? The animation style is really, really good. How they tackled the gameplay elements is kind of just this is a game? Question mark? It's just they don't really address it properly. They kind of just allude to, no, these are characters actually participating in a world setting. Okay, good, fine. It's not adults playing a children's card game. The voice acting is good. The story is... It's not... The world has so much depth to it. It's really interesting to see, the breakdown in the factions and the communication and everything. However, the biggest problem with the whole setting is... there's too much there to just cover in a short period of time, right?
They don't really have time to ease you into it, and you need to be eased into it.
So I think one of the not just that, you just need to be constantly touching upon it.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's, the third or maybe fourth episode, you find out that basically the world setting has these mobile fortresses, which I think I touched upon in the half season mark, where effectively, because there are these natural disasters that are happening all over the world, the cities have to be constantly moving. These are really cool to learn about. But that's all the information you get. And like, I'd like to learn more about these. Nope, nothing. What are these natural disasters? Not going to tell you about those, right? And that's
sometimes they're meteors, I guess, apparently. But yeah, they don't really tell you.
You know,
they don't really explain where they come from or why they're that way, or it's just.
So, I think the biggest holdback for this entire series is just that it needed more episodes. It needed another story to continue. And I wouldn't be surprised if whatever the studio was or whoever the producers were turned around and said, like, we don't want to commit to something that might be a deadpan flop. But I feel that not giving it like a full 12 to 13 episodes, or even 11 episodes, just get another story in there.
It might also be that it ties into the game in some way, because there's a series of short episodes for Dragon Ball Super called Heroes, and it ties into, I can't remember which game whatever the most recent Dragon Ball Z game was, or Dragon Ball game was. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, so they all tie into that somehow. Right. But it could be something along those lines.
It could be. I mean, I dread to think the idea that the 8-episode Arknights series has actually finished the entire plot of the Arknights game.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I mean, I know the game is like particularly slow at, giving you the narrative, but at the same time, it's just like, oof.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I don't know if you have any questions.
I forgot that it was 8 episodes and I could have finished it because I'd gotten to episode 6 and I couldn't be bothered to pick it back up. So yeah, I'm.
So what was it for you that turned you off?
I don't know. You say the voice acting is good, and that's true, but the main girl also kind of annoyed me, especially the way she said doctor all the time, and I know that's the character's name. They don't have an actual name for them, but it just bothered me, and the story was okay, but they weren't really giving me enough. They're having to spend so much time giving you these tiny hints about the world that they didn't really have enough time to really sit down and develop the story. It just didn't grab me. The first 3 episodes are great, and then the second 3 episodes were kind of meh. All right.
Kind of meh.
Do you have any questions, Loz?
Nope.
Okay, should we move on to the next show? So, Loz, what are you going to pick?
I'll go with Reincarnated as a Sword.
Okay, so...
Reinsorted as a Carnate.
Sure. There you go.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, I really enjoyed this show. I want a second season of it. The relationship between the sword and the cat girl, I forget names, they have names. It's just
Yeeture
such a
and Fran.
lovely, father and daughter almost relationship, which is really good. The has a nice little arc and some nice little tie-in moments. I'd like to see where it goes, and it's got opportunities. Now over to Xeno because he wanted to talk about it.
I really enjoyed this series. It was one that I looked forward to on a weekly basis.
Oh yes, I was very. I remember the first week when there was others Eminence and Shadows finished. What else do I watch on Wednesday? Oh, Reincarnated the Sword, and it's finished. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, very, very much enjoyed the series. Very much. I love the jokes that were surrounding this in terms of in the series as well as out of the series. Like the memes that this spawned were great. Things like I'm looking here right now, and she's on looking the whole goblin fight thing, and there's the memes of is she one of my people? Goblin Slayer. But yeah, I very, very much enjoyed the series. I was always waiting for her to actually, use Teacher as a surfboard a la Silver Surfer. She does do it, but at the very, very end, post-credits, very end.
Oh.
Did you miss the post-credits, Laws?
Is it post-credits of just like she flies off on the sword or something?
No.
It's post-credits.
Basically, she finds... it's nothing special. It does not need spoilers. But basically, she finds this floating island. She goes up to the She tries to go up to the floating island. She gets shot down and crashes into a hut with a character that's alluded to earlier on in the series, only like an episode or two earlier. So yeah, it's I really enjoy the series. It's not really it's really wholesome. I think sometimes it does drag on a little bit. I kind of felt like the last arc was a little too slow, but I enjoyed the whole thing. I loved the way that the cast brought the characters to life. I like the hidden relationships between the characters. I kind of wish that there was more explored between the blue cats and the black cats, because that kind of felt quite rushed. But yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed the series.
I felt things like that. It was good that they weren't really resolved and they were more alluding to for things in the future. That this is going to be a bigger issue and it's not being completely resolved in one go. And, we now know that if we encounter any more blue cats, by the way, they're not blue, the black cats are black, that we now already understand the situation we're in. So I felt that was a good introduction to it, because this isn't just between individuals, this is between entire groups.
Yeah. So it's just a brilliant series. I just really enjoyed it. Nasuth hates it for some reason.
Well, yeah, and because I finally figured it out. It's because it's wholesome, and I cannot stand wholesome things. That's just how it goes. Which might be a perfect segue into my next show, or into my first show. I don't know.
Go on then.
Shall we? I've been. Oh, you've been hitting the timer. Good, excellent.
Wait,
also,
did Loz give a rating?
Yeah, I was gonna say we didn't give a rating for this one.
See, I would like to give this, I'll put it on a must-watch, if you like isekais, if you like a bit of wholesome, you don't want a bit of drama, that's what you're aiming for. I mean, it's not a must-watch, actually, I feel it is still not. It's you could watch this and just your life will be improved by watching it. But I would say, if you like isekais, because it is an isekai technically with a good spin on it, it's a nice fantasy story, it's got nice characters, and it's quite wholesome. It's got a good world. So yeah, and it's a nice little arc story. It didn't feel boring or pointless. It felt like a journey on. So I felt it was really nice for that one arc, and I want more. That's the show. It's a sign of a good show that I want more. And I was sad when it finished. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Okay, you
right.
ready, Nasuth?
So let's talk about Spy Family.
Really?
I am going to get probably absolutely crucified. I am giving this one a nothing special, honestly. I want to love it. I loved the first half of the season, but there was just something about this one. By the time they introduced Nightfall, especially because of how they introduced Nightfall, I really wanted to know about this one. It was like, you're gonna just serve me some manufactured relationship drama for no real payoff in the end. At least that's how I felt. What, for Nightfall? You remember Nightfall?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like her whole little mini arc didn't really have any payoff.
That's because, like in the first, it's really annoying. What has had to happen with Spy Family is that what they did is there was the climax, which is that season 2. I would have been happier if what they did with season 2, if they moved the whole bomb arc somehow to the end of season 2, because it's just the climax of the show. The first, was it 3 or 4 episodes? It's like, wow, this is exactly what I wanted from Spy Family. It's
yes.
right, now you have to have 8 episodes of
I just want to check. Do you mean end of season 1?
No, it's the bomb arcs in season 2.
Yeah, it's the start of season 2.
The start.
Yeah.
Do you want the end of season 2 to be the bomb arc?
Yeah, I think it would have been better if they found ways to. The thing is, you can't, because then, it's how the dog turns up. It's it's from the bomb arc is the problem. But because the bomb arc would have been a great like end of season. There should have been a movie. It should have been a mid-season movie. Would have been much better, and it would have worked for that as well. And they could have, and knowing how well they expanded on some of the stuff in the first season, they could have expanded it and made a really great fun movie out of it. I think they could have easily done it. I would trust them to do it. Instead, you've got this great opener to season 2, and you're like, oh man,
and then it just grinds to
I
a
want
halt.
more of this. It doesn't grind to a halt, but it then starts like, right, well, we're actually introducing more characters, like how Yuri is introduced in season 1, which is Yor's brother. It doesn't really do much, but it's like they're assisting it.
Then we also get like what Daybreak and Nightfall. Daybreak's the one that wants to be like Twilight, but is absolutely terrible.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, that one's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, that one's fine. That one's kind of fine. But yeah, it really needs way more spy mixed in with the family, because like Anya has almost nothing to do. It feels like she's just she's got to study, but she was doing so much stuff during that bomb arc but she needs to be doing stuff and figuring out ways to keep herself hidden while doing it. And she can learn these tactics by reading yours and Lloyd's minds and using some of their knowledge. And
so that's why did you watch the Penguin episode from season 1? Did you go back and watch it?
I remember it, but I didn't go back and rewatch it.
Like that's when I feel that again it works better when they're all doing something, and that is like a one episode version of them all doing something. Like, your how was it? Anya knows that this is the bad guy who's the spy who Lloyd is trying to get, so she jumps on him and says to this person's trying to kidnap me, even though she's holding on to the Reading guy, and then Yor takes them out, and it's like because she's using her knowledge that she can't let them know that she's able to get from other people. It's like it all works together. And the bomb arc was the same, that she could read the dog's mind to read the future, and then the other people around her to help into it. And there was a bit of that towards the end of season 2 with when the guy there, the whole point they're doing this whole thing, Damien's father turns up, and you get things where like Anya realizes Damien doesn't want to go see him, and then she tricks him basically into go seeing him because and then Lloyd's in the background being like, oh wow, she's done that. That's really clever of her.
Yes, but, stuff like that is great. Stuff like that is wonderful, but there's just not enough of it.
Well, I hope this keeps going, because I think this is just going to be the long burn. This is going to need to get to season 4, and it's just building and building and building. It's the problem. And they're adding things to it. And is it Twilight and which one's the
Nightfall and Daybreak? Yeah,
Nightfall. Yeah, Daybreak's a joke.
Yeah, Nightfall's the one that wants to replace Yor.
Yes, and again, interesting character, and I'm sure they'll do more with it. I think this is basically now season 2, by the way, is where me and Xeno haven't read much further in the manga past here.
As soon as Nightfall turned up in the manga, I just put it down.
Yeah,
instantly.
I mean, I know there is a hell of a lot more manga there, so I mean, I would not doubt that this show's going to keep going. There's also been brilliant Anya meme moments all the time, which are great, but I agree with Nasuth. I feel it's nothing special. If you ask me about the first 4 episodes, I'd say they're must-watch acquired taste territory, but then most of the season falls down into nothing special with a few peaks into acquired taste. Like, I really enjoyed the tennis episode. That was really great.
Yes, I was just about to talk about that. I was going to put spoilers up so we can talk about that, because I absolutely love the ridiculous, over-the-top nature of the tennis match. It is absolutely fantastic. I mean, rocket-powered rackets, crazy muscle-enhancing drugs that turn these guys into giants, the sniper using bullets, rubber bullets that are colored the same as the tennis thing, the moving ground, the moving net. It's so ridiculous.
And then the best thing was definitely the 2 weird rackets that the opponents had in the final fight. They were amazing.
Rocket-powered racket and racket on a chain, and but as I scroll down here to my downsides, I wish the tennis match had been a slightly larger focus, with intrigue leading up to it, with a role for Anya to fill instead of the many fluff episodes like her and Becky go shopping. Woo!
No, those they're all. You see, that's why I haven't read much further. You know, I know there's so much coming already out, and I do want to catch up on it. But I think that they need all those episodes because it's the long burn. I expect what will eventually happen is they're going to fall through on Damien and thing. But Anya's dad is also like a weapons provider for the country.
That's true.
And
yeah,
that relationship is going to be so much more important.
Becky's
Longer in the long term. Sorry, Becky. Yeah, sorry, Becky's family are just as important. And I feel because the whole time, Anya keeps trying the whole time, and that's why you think all these things aren't important. But Anya keeps trying to become Damien's friend in different ways, and just becomes more of a friend of Becky. Like when she gets the photo of her family with the dog, and be like, "Aha! I will prove to him my dog is the best." And she drops the photo. And the guy, Damien, doesn't care, but Becky picks it up and falls in love with Lloyd. You know, it's just like these little things that keep adding towards.
That's actually a fair point.
And I feel that's that how it is going to be important long term. And that's why the actual meta story of this is such a long burn. But I wish it. Do you know? I don't know if maybe they're worried that the manga won't keep, because I know there's a lot more. I don't think we've gotten even a fifth of what manga is out for the show after 2 seasons. I think. I'll have to check. I know it's been going for a long time. I would have much preferred if this was just one long thing. If this just was like, it's going to be 52 episodes to finish, and it's going to start, and it's just going to keep going till it stops, and then the story will be complete. But now we're stopping. I imagine we're probably going to have 2 seasons without this, and then 2 seasons with this again. So we have to wait now, and that's the problem, as you said. It just has the second half of the season is just a few jokey things, and then set up continuing. So yeah.
Even episode 25 is like set up, and it doesn't really have the feel of a climax to it.
No, but that's the same at the end of season 1 as well. They didn't have a climax. And no, they haven't announced anything, but they never do these days, especially with all the COVID and everything that's happened in Japan. And, so there's not been an announcement for anything more at all.
Right.
I can't remember why. Did you watch it all, or are you just sad that?
No, he stopped. He stopped.
I didn't bother with. I think I may have watched 1 episode of part 2, but like honestly, I got so fed up of like.
It is better to watch it all at once.
Well, no, because I was just reading it. I just got fed up of the narrative just going in directions that I just really couldn't care less about. That was the problem for me, and like I loved the narrative where it was take your daughter to work day, and Lloyd ends up taking Anya to the hospital, and she ends up infiltrating the air vents. Like I loved reading that. That was brilliant to read, right? But as soon as I hit the whole dynamic between Yor and Nightfall, I was just like, no, I'm done.
Yeah, that was the hardest for me too. That very rom-com sort of artificial tension.
Yeah, well, it's not just that. Like the amount of like fluff that's just going on between like at the school and things like that, and I just like I really struggle with that school so much. I just feel like if they did more stuff outside of the classrooms, like, oh yeah, we've got to like get into the administrative office, or but it's not. It's like Lloyd is just trying to make sure that Anya gets in good graces with Damien, and it's just like yeah.
Well, that's how this it's not. Well, I'm not going to bother with spoilers or anything because it's just watch. But that's how this season does end. Where Lloyd, like the meeting of the what are they called? The scholars, the Imperial Scholars, is happening for this year, and obviously Anya's nowhere near it. She needs like loads more settlers, but obviously it still happens. So Thingy is still going to be there, and so he has to come up. He's like he does go around the school and think, well, can I sneak in? And he's like he does establish like he there's no way he can do it. So he has to trick his way onto campus. And then Damien's going to ask to meet with his dad, obviously out of the more secure regions, and so Lloyd has to try and turn up and be like, oh, I'm so sorry that my daughter punched your son, kind of thing, to try and get that first meeting with the guy. So you do get, that's how this kind of this second season does try and end with a bit of progression towards that.
I think I just put in my head like James Bond or Ethan Hunt, or can't remember the name from the guy from Man from U.N.C.L.E. Like any of them try to like do this mission in such a slow burn manner. I could just see all of them's like, no, I'll pretend to be the kid, and then just walking around on their knees pretending to be like it just feels like it's just too slow a burn for me.
Yeah,
right.
but for instance, but the thing is, but Lloyd does look at it and says like he might be able to make it in this time, but he'll need to have. But then it would be a problem to meet with the guy again. Like it would. That last episode is probably exactly what you want from Spy Family again, because he goes through all these different options. Like I could try and impersonate somebody, but that would be a problem long term, because if I have a conversation, that person will then have a talk to that person. Say, wait, when did we talk about this? You know,
remind me, like, what is his actual mission?
So there's East and West. I never remember which one that was. Two countries, and they were at war in the past. There's now a ceasefire. However, their intelligence agency has pointed towards this guy is moving towards possibly doing things that may lead to another war. It is so hard to get in contact with this guy. He keeps himself so hidden away at this time, but he is a massive mover and shaker for the country. And so they're trying to get in touch with him to try and figure
ascertain
out
whether or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
They literally have no method. This is the only way they've come up with. They wouldn't ever do it this way, but they had to go to such lengths to try and touch this guy, because otherwise, and they feel if they don't, and he's left alone to do things without them being able to keep an eye on it, it could lead to war again.
Like no other cover they could come up with to get close to him would be as foolproof as this.
I kind of feel like, I don't know, maybe replacement bodyguard, maybe an assistant.
But see, then they'd have to do a background check on the bodyguard, and cover story that they could come up with would hold up to that.
No, it's fine. So we just put Lloyd in bodyguard school for 3 years. It's just as effective as getting fucking.
But that would take to be able to do it that way, to get into the inner circle, it would take them 5. It would have to be a minimum of setting up a story. And they have to be an external, and they'd have to have a background check, and they'd have to slowly do 5 to 10 years in the organization, slowly working their way up for them to trust him. Which is still less. Sorry, it's still less to send the girl to school. And if she can get the Stellars, they get the direct contact in.
How many Taurus balls does she have?
1.
Oh shit, more, I swear.
She's only got 1.
She got 1 good and 1 bad.
Yeah, she's got 1 good, 1 bad.
But also her having 2 bad in the manga.
Maybe they've saved that for next season. Or maybe they haven't got to that bit yet. But at the same time, and that's why I don't remember this from manga, that in the last episode they may put forward, is that they do this thing where he has already gained contact with the guy, and it's a really great scene because he's saying things, and he's trying to.
He's reading the guy 13, maybe just watch episode 13. You could
probably, he's reading the guy on the fly and also thinking about what can I say to the guy, and if I say this, if I'm too pushy, he'll think, that guy's too pushy. So it's really clever.
We spent a lot of time on that. I mean, to be fair, it has covered two seasons, so there's a lot to talk about. But
let's
move on.
Can I have one last point? And I think we can all agree on this. No, we'll all agree on this. There's one line. This show criminally utilizes your all.
Oh god, yeah.
100%. Oh, hell yeah.
That scene where we got to see into her mind on the take your daughter to work day.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
anyway, moving on.
Wait. She has stuff in the whole take your daughter to work day?
For 2 minutes, Anya gets to see inside her mind of what it would be like. And then yours like, maybe I shouldn't.
It might be anime only. I think that I do believe they've added stuff that's your only. There's another bit where she has to bring Anya's clothes to school, and I don't remember that in the manga.
Right. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to take it straight to Uncle from Another World. Right. So, unfortunately, this series has yet to have its last goddamn episode, and we don't know when it's gonna come out. So it's had 12.
This show has uncle's luck.
Episodes. God, it really does. It's had 12 of its 13 episodes, and I am prepared to make a vote on it, regardless. And I say this is an acquired taste. It's a very firm acquired taste. It is funny. I feel that with the show, the further in the series you get, the more positive influence it has on past episodes, right? You end up learning more about why he does things. So, in the first episode, you learn he has the ability to erase memories, and he's also able to bring up like magical holographic screens, like televisions, to relive memories. But what you don't realize until later on in the series is he's done this to himself so much that he's basically erased all of the bad trauma that he's ever gone through in this alternate world. There are things like how magic works. So magic doesn't work just by channeling raw arcane energies. It's a case of you're asking spirits to do this thing for you, and you have to praise the spirits. You have to do stuff to appease the spirits, and if you don't appease the spirits,
that's why it doesn't work in Japanese. Oh my god.
No, that is why it works in Japanese, right?
Oh wait,
it doesn't work in the normal language. So in the
because talking to different spirits. Okay, right. Yes. Sorry, it's been so long since I've watched the start of this.
If you don't actually appease the spirits, then they'll make it worse. So at one point in time, it's really hot during the summer, so they actually ask this cold spirit to make the apartment cold. But because they're not actually doing something to honor the spirit, right, the spirit just goes complete ham and makes it an ice box, right?
Wow.
It just makes it so, right? So it's a really, really good series, and it, like, the further you get into it, it makes the earlier stuff so much better. So rewatching it, it's just like, damn, this is such a good series. So I through and through love it. I love the comedy behind it. It's very Konosuba vibes. I'm gonna say that again later for another show, but the level of humor just escalates with such charm and wit. So yeah, no, I absolutely love it. I think that if you like stuff like Konosuba, I think you'll like this.
I'm really sad I completely forgot to watch this one because the first grouping was great, and then it stopped, and then it came back, and yeah.
But that's the problem though, because like you start watching it, and it's the first half of it came out back in summer, and then it had the hiatus, and then we're just like, is it out again yet? Is it out again yet? Don't know, is it continue? Has it gotten past where it is? Like, again, it wasn't until I think just before December that it actually picked up again to continue the episodes, and then fucking last week of December, we have to go.
Yep.
We'll release the last episode at some point, and it ends.
Which we talked about in Kanpai News that you can watch.
The episode 12 ends on such a cliffhanger. I'm like, motherfuckers. So, but it's a brilliant series. I love it. And I really do hope it gets a second season.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, again, having not seen the rest of it, the first half was still just amazing, just hilarious. Just I can't imagine going anywhere but up.
I love all the Sega references. I absolutely adore every Sega reference. It's just brilliant. Must be done. Cool. Right, Loz, what's your next one?
I'll do a quick one. Management of a Novice Alchemist.
Oh god, it's that one. There you
go. I'm gonna put this probably on a pass. And I don't mean it in a mean way. I don't mean it in a way. Maybe it might fall into nothing special, but I'm not sure if this is going to continue. If this was the setup for more, I feel it would probably be nothing special. But I watched the last episode today, and I kind of got the feeling that I don't know if this is based on the manga or if this is going to continue. But it felt like they rounded it off, and it's like, yeah, that's it, done. The show, we've got this person whose mum and dad ran a merchant shop. They got killed, and then it looked like the company that they ran and set up, that they said she'd inherit in the future, was stolen. Then she becomes an alchemist, and she's just ungodly powerful as an alchemist. That's pretty cool. So she then goes off to make her Alchemy shop in a town in the middle of nowhere, which is really good because she can find rare resources out there, and then she befriends the town, looks after the town, and builds from there. And there's some fun episodes. She befriends someone in the town who's like the shopkeeper's daughter, who hangs around with her a lot, and then also she saves the life of, though for cost, of a person who gets attacked by some giant fire bears, and then those two people then become like gatherers for her. So it's a good thing. But then, and it is really fun. But at the same time, the main character is just completely OP for no reason, undeserving. She had a great mentor who's also really powerful, but she seems to have like this intrinsic, if I take off this control amulet, I become magically powerful. And over the time, it to the point that the other characters don't even seem to get a look in. It's just ridiculous. Like in the last episode, they go after, or the second last episode, they go after like a giant fire salamander in the nearby to the town, so it doesn't make a volcano and affect the town. And she makes ice arrows and ice bombs basically for the two gatherers to help her out, and they chuck them at the thing to distract it, and they don't do anything even after all that. And in the end, she just one shots it with a giant frost magic bomb thing, and it's just like So it just meant that it's just annoying that the subcast, that the rest of the cast just don't really get a look in. They
got Krillined.
They get heavily killed. Yeah, so and that's it. It's all right. It's wholesome. It's good. It has some fun episodes where it's interesting things to do with like market economies come into play. With like they start making hats that are cooling hats with like these ice wings of bats. And it's really good because people put them on in the summer and your head's cool. It keeps you cool. But then they come into competition with someone else who's trying to compete them, so starts buying everyone's frostbat. So they're like, aha, frostbat wings. So they just flood the market with frostbat wings to just basically bankrupt them. It's really, some good bits in that, but it's just there's a few one-shot stories. But then the overarching story at the end, in the last episode, the company that you think gets stolen from her actually contacts her and says, oh, we were in debt and we've done a long road back to being good, and now we finally contact you, and she has to make a choice. Does she want to go back to work at the company in the city, or leave her friends in the village? Yeah, she grows that arm back. She really costs them a lot of money though. But they're like indebted to her because of it. It's like, well, I can't do this for free because it's expensive. Expensive resources. So yeah, so there's some good bits in the show, but I just if this was in the start for like moving on to season 2, maybe reaching further afield with building up the town she's in, that would be great. But I just feel it just rounds it off and it's like, yep, that was that. And so by the end, I'm just like, that's path really, just rather bland. Yeah, done.
So how's the animation for it? Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm looking at this and I'm getting very
serviceable. There's some interesting things like when they fight those bears, or they fight this giant fire salamander at the end of the season was the highlight, and they also fight some giant serpent in the ocean in the pseudo beach episode. It's like they go to a river and they wear costumes, but yeah, it's serviceable, but it's nothing special. It's not awful. I don't think they have any terrible animation frames. You get some good vistas like this, and does have some good moments and good highlights. But a lot of it is just spent in the shop. We're running a shop.
Yeah, I just want to check. Do you remember how bad Fruit of Evolution's animation was?
Oh yeah.
Better or worse?
Well, look at the detail of Shadow.
The vistas were fine in Eminence of Shadow. It was the animation. It was the movement of the characters.
Oh no, they're not that bad. They're not that bad.
Okay, that's the important part. Not that bad. Okay.
You know that's getting a second season, right?
Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna watch it. It starts
this season. Oh,
no, sorry. Fruit of Evolution getting a second season.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed. I think episode 1 or 2, 1 and 2.
Not the rest of it, just 1 and 2.
What I thought was like 4 episodes and turned out to be like 2 episodes. Cool. I mean, this is kind of bland but acceptable, whereas that just goes bland to just utter ridiculousness. Yeah. But anyway, if there was another season of this, I would watch it. But I just feel it's just rounded itself off. I was like, yeah, that was nice. I'm like, yeah.
Okay, right. Nasuth, what are we going with?
Chainsaw Man.
You're gonna go with Chainsaw Man.
I got all the good ones because I dropped all the terrible ones. Did you say
Blair? I'll have to do that next time.
Yeah, I got really bored of it. I didn't finish it.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so what's your rating?
I gave it a must watch. I thought it was really good. Gritty, graphic, funny, heart wrenching. Great animation, great acting, excellent choreography. I thought the relationships between the different characters are really good. I'm really intrigued to know exactly what's going on with Makima, although I've got my suspicions, but I don't know how accurate they may be.
I can tell you.
Well, I don't want to know.
Well, then don't say them.
I'm not gonna. Although they are in these notes if you look closely. But I loved how unhinged Denji would get in the heat of the moment. I liked that the Yakuza came back in the end to play a role in things. I liked the creativity of the devils that we saw. The down man, the low point hit real low too. Like I would have liked to have seen a little bit more time spent on that, but I guess it's really hard. Yeah, the low point. Yeah. I can see now. So in last week's Kanpai news, we had somebody say they spent too much time before getting to the Samurai Sword arc. I can kind of see that, but also I don't think they could have really condensed it down anymore. The only thing they really could have done was add maybe a 13th episode or make the season a full, 2 cores. But I loved it. I thought it was great. Why do you think it was blah? What made you lose interest in it?
Go on, Oz.
Or did it just not catch you?
I just got bored. It was like when we got to the hotel arc, and I was just like, oh god, I didn't feel that oppressed by the hotel. It felt too bright, and then it went on to other stuff, and I just wanted them to focus on killing demons each week, and instead we were just focusing on people. And I wanted more demon killing. I think I gave up like episode 6 or 7. And I'm like, maybe if I'll finish it. That's all out, but just I want it. Just it didn't. It's not
about killing the demons. It's about being a demon.
Right, but there's enough to experience in that.
Sorry, yes, devils.
Him killing demons, being the Chainsaw Man. That just do that for a bit. I just wanted more of that instead of just focusing on freaking people. I don't know. It bored me.
Yeah. What did you think about it, Xeno?
I
having read the comic,
the manga, but
the manga.
I'm very much between the pair of you. So I think this is classified as an arc, right? So this arc where I'm trying not to spoil anything. The events of this narrative, this whole arc is 11 volumes in the manga. We have only hit volume 5, right?
Wow.
So there is so much more to happen. And realistically, where the series stops is the major turning point in what leads to the
definitely.
end of this arc.
Yeah, it really felt like that.
We've only just, if we want to say the downhill is the mad spiral to the end. We're about halfway up the hill. We haven't even got to the peak yet, right? And I feel that the pacing is as good as it can be to make sure that everything has worth. The fact that the low point that Nasuth... Can we just hit the spoilers?
Yeah.
The low point that Nasuth is talking about is when... girl with
eye patch. Yeah,
I can't remember her name. I want to say it's Himeno or Homino or something like that.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, Himeno. Yeah. There's Himeno, Kabani, and Sourpuss, whose name I can't remember.
Aki.
Yes. Yeah.
When Himeno, she ends up sacrificing herself to the Ghost Devil in order to try and save Aki from the Snake Devil and what you call it? They call him the Katana Devil in the translations. It might be but he's got fucking bayonets, right? He doesn't have katanas. He has fucking bayonets, which just feels wrong, right? Anyway, so
it means nothing. Her sacrifice ends up being
because you don't get enough time with her, right?
No, I mean, it amounts to nothing because of what happens. But it means something to the audience because you have had the time that you have with her. They could have spent more.
I feel it means more to the manga readers because you spend a lot more time with her, right? There's a lot more emphasis on this collaboration between Denji and Himeno about, Denji will help Himeno get Aki, and Himeno will help Denji get Makima, right? But there's a lot more emphasis to that, but it's just not there in the anime because I think they're just trying to keep the pace high enough that people won't get bored, right? No offense, but case in point, Loz. Loz got bored for very justifiable reasons, right? Yeah, so as I said, we're barely halfway up the hill. And there's so much more that is behind Chainsaw Man. And I don't think we've had an announcement of a second season yet. I don't know if we're going to get one. Yeah, I think we're out.
Yeah, I hope we do, because again, I don't always want a gritty graphic anime, but it really does go for it in every way. It's not just gory. It hits you where you live.
Sorry, can you go back to your notes? If you go back to your notes, I think I just right. So I'm going to read this out loud because you're just so wrong on this.
Oh yeah, no, I realized I was wrong once because this is when the train incident happened, and yeah.
No. So Nasuth has got in his notes, and I'm going to read this aloud.
No, you shouldn't.
I shouldn't?
No.
This is horrifically wrong. Right around the halfway point of the season.
What does that really add to the thing apart from you just taking a poor dig at Nasuth for a guess?
No, I wasn't. I was going to basically say, some people may think it's this. It's really not.
Well, don't, because some people might not. Spoilers are turned off at this point, so no, you're not allowed to.
It's fine. I made a guess about one of the characters. I thought they might be a much bigger actor, and I think they are, but not in the way that I thought they were.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's about
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. I am going to now cover. Crap. Where is it? Akiba Maid War.
Oh wow. Okay.
Right. I absolutely love this one. It is fantastic. I kind of wish you two gave it more of a chance, but that's why it can only be an acquired taste. It can't be a must-have. I can appreciate the fact that when
I'm gonna say I did enjoy it, and I think Naz as well. I just had a bad sort of season and just didn't keep the pulse of everything I wanted to.
The fact that it was coming out weekly made it hard to stay invested.
I can appreciate this. The best way I can describe this is if you've ever watched John Woo's, is it John Woo? His Hard-Boiled movie, right?
I haven't.
Mix that with Maid Girls and the humor of Konosuba. This is the other one series I was going to compare it to. That is Akiba Maid Wars, or Akiba Maid War singular. Sorry. It just gets ludicrous. It is funny, but it still has that guttural, visceral nature behind it. So it's definitely an acquired taste. But yeah, absolutely love it. It is funny. The moments in it where effectively they're dysfunctional, right? In the second, this is the second episode where they're trying to play poker and they're trying to, win their life savings, or they're trying to survive being crushed by playing poker. They horribly lose, and thus they have a gunfight. It's ridiculous, but at the same time, if you could take it in the context of being funny as well as being hard-boiled, it's just funny. It's great. I love it.
I mean, again, like I said, I think the fact that it came out weekly was the dragging point for me. So I think you were laughing at what I was writing down. That's right. That's yeah, okay. I wrote down give Maid Wars another try because I think now that it's all out, maybe if I could watch it all at once, I might have a better experience with it, or at least past where I stopped.
The big thing is
right around the poker match.
The big thing is it's not just a pure comedy, right? That's the important thing to realize. It's not just a pure comedy. It still has this hard-boiled, guttural feeling in your stomach, right? Which is what you would not typically expect to mix with something that's funny. So,
and yet he didn't like
Eminence
of Shadow, right?
No, Eminence of Shadow is just a steam pile of shit.
I don't get it. I don't understand. Okay.
I don't get it. Yeah, no, after you saying that, I just don't get why you think this show has something and Eminence of Shadow doesn't.
I'm sorry, hold on. The whole... Are we now going to just jump straight into Eminence of Shadow, or are we going to wait?
No. It is my next one, but Loz should go first.
No, we don't want to explain Eminence of Shadow. We want you to justify why Akiba Maid Wars develops into something amazing beyond what is seen in the first 2 episodes. Or does it just continue, same as random hijinks with other maids, gunfights, misconceptions, the boss being stupid, losing the money and putting them in problems all the time, and more of the same?
It is more of the same, but it sort of like establishes it because it's sort of like repeating the pattern constantly. It just makes you realize, oh, that's what it's trying to do. It's like how...
What is it trying to do?
Be funny and guttural at the same time.
Right, but like Konosuba does that, but Konosuba also has a really cool, sly way of progression, and it's really useful. Does this?
But in the first 6 episodes of Konosuba, it's really slow and not a whole lot happens.
Right, I know.
It doesn't really establish. That's what this does.
But does this progress within a season?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Totally, 100%.
And so you can see a bigger thing happening and working towards?
Yeah. No, this is a one and done. This season is a one and done. Oh. There will not be a second season to this.
Oh, right? Okay. That actually does change things. All right.
Yep. Unlike Konosuba, which too rightly deserves extra seasons, this, actually finishes the whole plot in one season.
So there is actually a plot. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that was my problem. It didn't feel like there was really a plot developing. It felt like just hijinks.
That's a large part of the problem is that I don't know. I find it so hard to explain. To be honest, I find it so hard to put into words how much this leans on both the comedy and the hard-boiled nature, right? Like, a part of me feels like I'm saying hard-boiled too much and no one's getting it.
We are.
Right? It's like, okay,
it's another like hard-boiled.
Okay, it's like...
And what is important is that this, as you see, has the hard-boiled elements with the other features that are exemplifying.
But do you not know what hard-boiled is?
No.
Have you never seen John Woo's Hard-Boiled?
No.
It's
Have you never seen a John Woo movie?
It's used a lot in terms of like Private Eyes. It's a hard-boiled private eye. He's not. He doesn't have a hard shell. Soft inside.
No, it's a show called a movie I think called Hard.
I know there is. I know there is, but that is a reference to.
It's a genre. It's a genre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean,
they're not soft on the inside. They're hard on the inside. They don't have just a hard shell and then a soft gooey center.
Soft interior.
They're hard all the way through.
They're just like murderers through and through. Loz doesn't get it. That's fair enough. Now just gonna give it another go. That's fine.
I am gonna give it another go.
I've won. Let's move on.
I'm not complaining about the show. I'm complaining about your description there of it.
It's really hard to describe.
I do sort of get what he's saying.
I'll watch it and be like, right, here's a better 5-minute description. Anyway, let's move on.
Fine, go for it. Yeah, right. Go on, Loz.
I'm just down to Beast Tamer, aren't I? Beast Tamer.
No, you have My Hero.
Yeah. You're saving that one for last, like I'm saving Gundam.
Beast Tamer.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
So Beast Tamer, it was fine. I probably want to put it on nothing special. I don't mean this in a mean way. I think maybe we need to have a way of like maybe put it as call it 3 out of 5 nothing special, not and more than me. We could put the stars maybe in the thing as well. Sure. So because like acquired taste feels like a side result, doesn't it? Rather than 4 out of 5 acquired taste. That's kind of I think almost like above average would be the 4 out of 5, and then there's a side thing of it's an above average acquired taste. I know. Anyway, we'll revisit anyway, so I want to.
Yeah.
No.
We'll talk about it later. Anyway,
yeah. Because at the moment we've got something is either nothing special and then is a must watch, and in between is this like, oh, that's a niche thing. It's like, what? How does that work? Anyway,
about the show.
About the show. So it's kind of main character. Power fantasy almost, but I do like in this, in comparison to the Novice Alchemist, where the main character is just everything. This has a much better comparison between the main character and the sub-characters that join his little... I'm going to call it a harem, even though he sleeps on the floor, man.
Is.
Yeah, but he sleeps on the floor.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if given half the chance, Tenchi would end up sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, but this is the nicest. This is Jesus. He is Beast Jesus.
Okay.
He wouldn't do anything. But no, but the characters that join him in his party, let's say, they're all quite nice characters, all different, but none of them are anything edgy or spiky. They're just all nice different things. It goes on little arcs with the different characters, obviously doing different things to acquire them and to help them out, and that's kind of fun. The world is pretty interesting. There's allusions to him coming from some secret village, and that's why he's the best beast tamer, because he's better than any other beast tamer that ever was. And to catch them is his goal. But any other beast tamer isn't as good as him going to do one thing, whereas he's able to do multiple things. And the hero's party...
Sorry, to elaborate, when he says do one thing, he means
he can control multiple creatures at a time, whereas most beast tamers go to control one creature at a time. And somehow the hero's party, which is the ongoing thing for this, because it doesn't finish in this season, is sort of where he started, and they were kind of useless to him. They just more and more get showed up as these absolute idiots, seeing as they seem to do... They put no effort into anything, the hero's party, and seem to have no knowledge of anything, seeing as none of them go, oh yeah, we're gonna have to construct a party. Let's do some research into what all these different other classes we could have in our party. No, they just randomly, by pure chance, picked up to start with the best beast tamer that ever was, treat him like junk and chuck him out, and then they're just suck. They're just literally unable to improve from that state they're then left in at the start of the season. But so moving on to where this is headed is they're starting to allude that even though the guy in the hero's party is the legendary hero who's supposed to kill the Demon King, because there's always a Demon King, it's slightly pointing out that maybe our main character, our Beast Tamer guy, will be able to go do it, because as he makes connections with what are called ultimate species, so you're basically your beast girls rather than just a fox, it's a fox girl. He gains a bit of their power, and obviously they're still really powerful to start with. So it's a much more balanced party, and a split between the main character does stuff, but he can also rely on all the people he's picked up to do things. They get to do things that are important, and or do things that sometimes he can't do. He doesn't gain all their powers when they join his party. He just gains one thing from each person. So like he gains 2 fairies, and they can teleport people en masse. That's really cool and useful, and is used a lot.
And he can't do that.
No, he can't do that, but he's gained magic skills from them. So it's kind of that's why I think it's pretty good. I'm not going to put it up to the 4 out of 5 acquired taste, because I think as the show goes on, it's not pushing itself very far. It is also trying to complete its little party, which it does by the end of the season. And I think if it went into the next season,
he gets another one.
Yeah, that's the season. As we progress towards the last few episodes of the season, instead of progressing a meta plot, we're just rounding off the demigod and then the ghost. That's how the show's running off. If it went into a season 2, which it does allude towards, where the hero is now completely anti and almost trying to kill him in the hero's party. They just want to kill this main guy. They're actively trying to do that now. That'd be more interesting, because I think we could then go on to have him touring around and doing things, and then we could have all the people in his party can have side stories to deepen their characters, which would be, I just think it'd be really good. Yeah.
I also feel that you can also the hero's party doesn't feel particularly Vapid, it's really nice when you see within the hero's party their struggles trying to do stuff without our hero, right? You know, our Beast Tamer, and also the fact that 2 of the 4 of them are like, well, maybe we should do good stuff. No, we must crush the person that slighted me ever so slightly. You know, it's like.
No, that's it's interesting. We get conflict in the heroes party still as well.
Yes.
With them, you know, they think, but at the same time, you say that they say maybe we should do good stuff. That one of them's like, oh well, we're sorry for what we did. I think the bald knight says this to him. Like, we're kind of sorry now. Come join and be our bitch again. Like,
yes,
what?
yeah, it kind of like. Yeah,
is that the best you got? You know, half-assed apology and come back and be our slave again.
Yeah.
Well,
so
life, you know.
I also feel that I kind of wish the animation was slightly better as well. There are some points in time it's just like, I can tell that you ran out of budgets and you're just sliding characters across the floor with like kazoo sound effects.
We're flying.
So what I'm hearing is that the Beast Tamer is Ash. The girls are his legendary Pokemon, and the hero who's chasing him is Gary.
It's Gary, pretty much, yeah.
Except for Ash isn't incompetent and doesn't let all the legendary Pokemon go.
No, doesn't he though?
No,
Ash fucking does.
Which I'm never gonna freaking evolve.
No, you'll have this Thunderstone.
Now I don't.
Yes.
Yep.
I had this Charizard that won me the tournament. Yeah, thanks. Bye.
I'd love if other people would be like, "Wow, let's write down." I'd love it. Yeah, somebody does like his. He does a sit down chat to do like a book about the story journey of Ash, the champion, and they have to it has to go in the it gets published and things. Yeah. And the guy writing it, and Ash does this entire story, and it's like, "Wow, I've done this for like 50 other Pokemon masters. None of those idiots ever came away with their Pokemon. This is interesting. Why did you do this to make it harder for yourself?" Right. Anyway, I did like this. I would like to see another season, and I think is ways for it to go. Yeah, here's the apart from the hero, this is the heroes party. They're not irredeemable, but they're not great either. But at the same time, I don't get why they don't just have like 20 people join them, because they could just have an arm. It's really odd.
Well, no, there is, because like the hero is just an arrogant twat who thinks like, you're not good enough to be in my party. Because at one point in time, they do this recruiting campaign, to get another Beast Tamer, and he's saying how like, I want like 20 companions. Like, I can only do one. It's like, no, you need to have 20. It's like, no Beast Tamer can do more than one.
Yeah, it's interesting. I suppose that's why he's like, that they won't recruit 10 knights, let's say, because they're like, no, we had a Beast Tamer that could have a bear and dogs. You must do the same. It's like, no one else can do that. And he's like, no, I refuse to believe this. Yeah, I guess. So anyway, let's move on. It's all right. It's decent, and it's got more meat to it than sort of like, for instance, Alchemist. It does do stuff, but at the same time, I feel it's building to a season 2, and it definitely just needs a season 2. Let's move on.
Go on, Nasuth.
Oh, let's get into Eminence and Shadow. Xeno's favorite of the season. He can't get enough. Which is why it is the high end of acquired taste. It is still an acquired taste. I wouldn't make it a must watch. You have to like comedy and like sort of offbeat, almost a deconstruction, almost, but not quite. Of
how is
isekais.
Deconstruction.
I'm not.
Kinda, yeah.
What is that a deconstruction? How is this a fucking deconstruction?
Deconstruction? It's just whatever it wants to do. Every time.
That's a fair point. It is just whatever it wants to be. I feel like
be whatever you want to be. Sorry.
I love. It feels kind of like the equal and opposite to Skeleton Knight, where Skeleton Knight wants to be the hero and he wants to be known, and this guy's like, yeah, but I don't want to. I want to be like a superhero. I don't want anyone to know me. I don't want them to actually know anything about the Shadow. I just want to do things. I just want to do whatever. Also, a bit of a Slayers vibe, where the world is just, things are just kind of happening, and he's there along for the ride, and no matter what he tries to do, it just sort of like he there's a tournament, and he wants to just practice his being a background character technique and not show off that he has all this super ability. And what happens is he ends up getting beaten up like 20 times. And he just keeps coming back for more, and people are gonna talk about that. And the girl who he's fighting falls in love with him, even though she's clearly a main character. There's the whole terrorist attacking the school, and he's like hiding out, flicking people with his tiny little shadow arrows, even though he shouldn't be able to cast any magic because he's too OP.
Okay, but
he
why?
realizes he can do small things.
Small things, yes, yeah.
Okay,
He doesn't
okay.
activate the magic device which absorbs the magic.
I get that you're reciting the events of the series, but why is it good?
Because it's just so revelatory in what it's doing.
Right.
What do you mean revelatory? I don't understand.
You are
I
English,
just don't know the meaning of
right?
it.
It's not apologetic. It's not
Yeah.
apologetic for things. It wants this character to do stuff, and he'll just do it in the way
He will
wants
just
to
do it.
He's
Okay,
not restricted
okay.
by that's how the hero should do things. He's like, nah, I'm just gonna do this now.
He's going to do it the way he wants to do it, regardless.
And
Right. Okay, I'm with you.
and even when he thinks it's all just fake and a phony, like when the girls come back and they're like, oh yes, we found out there's this whole underworld plot going on, and he thinks, oh, they're just faking it, but he still goes with it because it's fun. It's what he wants to do.
Yeah, that's my main issue with the show though at the moment.
Yeah?
With the current, I don't understand that there is that point. I think that's like by episode like 4 or 5, like you're saying,
Yeah.
that all the girls he builds up as his separate team. They go off to sketch the winds, and he believes, oh well, they're growing up now. They're just humoring me. I'm gonna go do the thing I want to do, being the Eminence in Shadow. But they then come back to him and start saying things like, yeah, oh yeah, but then again, he still thinks, oh yeah, they pop in now again and humor me about my little silly thing about the cult. But then he starts getting raw evidence in front of his face that the cult exists. It actually does exist, and he just like rolled a natural 20 on making up the plot of his side story, and it is actually the plot of the universe. And it's like, but now does he acknowledge the cult exists? I know or not.
Yeah, they are a little light on that, because clearly he is still going along with things, and I don't feel like he thinks that they're toying with him anymore. But I also don't.
But there's things like when the bit on the shop on top of the building, right?
Oh,
The
yeah.
shop. It's
Yeah.
not a spoiler. You don't need to reach the spoiler button. And he says one of the lines, because I watched it again recently, that like, oh wow, whichever number it is that is running the shop, the non-combat one who's a bit ditzy but is really smart.
Isn't it
when it
Delta?
comes to business. It could be Delta. He says like, wow, Delta did a really good job putting this set together for me, or something.
That's
or like
true.
The stage.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, no,
that's actual
this
money.
actually
and-
building.
This actually is the secret headquarters base she has built for you to sit on the
Yeah.
throne and tell everyone what to do. This is actually real. You are now the secret second cult of the world.
It would make more sense if he said, "Oh, actually, going along with them would be main character behavior, and I don't want to be a main character." So yeah, but he doesn't do that.
I want to say my theme. Are you done, Nasuth? Is there anything else you want to add before I?
Yeah, no, that's I like the very end, the climax of the season, where climax of the mid-season, where they're actually moving towards what seems like an actual story, but we'll see.
Actual bigger story, yeah, which
Yeah.
has been there the whole
Yeah.
time. It's like really quite
Okay.
I'm like,
Yeah. He's finally getting to know about it, and yeah. Anyway, sorry guys, it's
I massively struggle with this series. Like, I don't know what episode. Loz, you may remember the episode number that I'm on. The stupid episode.
like 7 or 8.
9. Oh,
Nah,
sorry, yeah,
it's gotta be late.
7, 8, 9,
Really?
10.
Yeah, we've had
11,
like,
and then
we've had like
keep
4
going.
episodes on this thing we're at now.
Okay, right. Well, regardless, it's like 8 or 9,
Hang on. You keep going.
and I'm so dejected. I don't want to continue watching it. I will continue watching it because I like to have this banter between the three of us. I hate how stupid he is and incapable of understanding that this cult that he seems to have magically plucked out of his ass actually exists. I hate the fact that he is forming these relationships with these girls and they just he's like, I don't want to be a main character, I just want to be a side character. To what story? Like that is such like Deadpool level fourth wall breaking.
Hang on, did you watch the terrorist school arc bit?
Yeah, I watched all that.
Oh, it is later then. Okay, so
Yeah.
Go on.
Right. So he he has this mentality that is like, I am fourth wall breaking, but at the same time I'm not. Like,
he's genre savvy.
Or don't.
You know, it's called genre savvy, Gino. It is an actual trope. It's fine.
He doesn't break the fourth wall. The fourth wall is very stable. He does not break it.
Wait. What the F is genre savvy? Please elaborate.
Doctor Who is genre savvy.
Yeah.
But Doctor Who doesn't go, I don't want to be a main character.
Yes,
no, but he does stuff like
he
does stuff like I've seen this in movies or whatever, or that sort of thing. You never go through a door without checking first. It's these sort of things.
The Doctor is aware that he is basically the hero of the universe.
No, that's fine. But having a character that turns around and says like, oh yeah, I basically want to be a no-name.
It's
right?
the same thing.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
The Doctor says,
I'm the hero. I'm a no-name.
The Lords of Time will obey me.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
It's the exact same thing, Zeno.
It's looking at your world and saying,
you...
this is the archetype I'm going to choose to do this.
But how does it make sense?
What you mean?
How does it make sense that I'm going to be this no-name character?
Don't get me wrong, it's a stupid goal to do, but he is aware of his standing within the world, what capability he has, and he could if he wanted it. It's like when like in the duel with the guy, the guy who says I'm going to be one of the 12 rounds, the I Am Atomic fight. The guy turns around and says, "What are you doing? You have all this power. Why don't I basically know who you are? Why are you not doing things? You could basically, it doesn't say it, but you say implying you could basically conquer the planet with this power." And it's like the guy just doesn't understand because Shadow is aware that he could do that, and he doesn't want to.
Is he aware he could do that?
Yes, he is.
I do question if he is aware that he could.
100%. By the end of the 12th episode, he knows he can do anything.
He is fully aware of his power level. Yeah, that is the one thing he is aware of. The fact that girls are like, "Oh yeah, I love you."
The thing is, he's not aware of his unpower level yet. He has to practice taking hits and making it seem like he's actually getting hit.
No, that was in a terrorist arc.
That's yes, but it is an ongoing theme.
I fell asleep during that, and Loz had to explain it to me because I didn't want to rewatch it.
It is an ongoing theme that he wants to pretend that he's not actually as strong as he is, and he wants to pretend to not only be not as strong as he is, but incredible, like the weakest.
To me, this is like this is Goku pretending that he is not the strongest character.
It's Goku pretending that he's Yamcha.
Yes, exactly. And it's stupid. It is goddamn stupid.
No, it's hilarious.
Why bother?
Just
go to the enemy base and nuke the base.
It's not quite Yamcha. Well, yeah, no.
No, because at least Yamcha wants to actually be somebody. Yeah.
That part is Goku pretending to be Kame while making everyone see Yamcha.
No, Goku pretending to be that farmer in the first episode.
No, because he wants there's two characters he's trying to set up.
Oh, right. Sorry, you're right. He is Kame, but he's making everyone think that he's the tractor farmer.
He's the farmer.
Yes,
yeah, exactly.
Yes,
he
right.
is
Yes,
Kame.
yes, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Goku pretending to be Kame as a character which is really important and will help the main protagonist along, but not actually the main protagonist, while cosplaying as the farmer in the first episode with a shotgun. That is what this character is. Yeah.
That's even worse.
That's amazing.
No. It's amazing. It was episode 10 you got to, Drew.
And they gave up the will to live.
Right now, can I explain to you why I feel this? Why this show's
Oh, actually, I want to point out, right? I love the world setting, right? I love the cults. I love the demonology side of things. I love the military side of things. I love the factions. The school is too modern day for me, but fine, whatever. I just hate this main character so goddamn much. That's why I reached.
If I was
just
I
one
agree with
character.
you on that. That it's getting to the point that like I kind of would like a bit of a. Can we have an episode inside his head to reassess exactly what he feels and knows? Because it's a bit weird that they play off that thing at the start where he's like, "Oh, they're all just playing around with this cult I made up," and it's like, yeah, you have
Yeah,
so
but
much
now you're
evidence
actually
on your
in the
face right now.
temple,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
If it was a case of like he picked a different name, but coincidentally he got the exact right name,
Yeah.
that bugs me, right? I hate that level of coincidence, right? If it was like, oh no, it's the Diabolic cult, not the cult of Diablo.
Or it was
Fine.
the actual one is the Brethren of Diabolos, but he called it
Exactly.
the Cult of Diabolos, something like that.
Yeah. Again, I'm fine with that, right? But it was because he fucking read it off a empty wine bottle, for fuck's sake, right?
Yeah.
But
no,
again,
actually, no,
But
that's not
it
what
makes
he did.
sense.
That's
It
not-
does
I've
kind of make
rewatched
sense
it.
because
That's not
Diablo's
actually-
just. Yeah, sorry, guys.
That's not what he did. No, what he actually did is he was like, "Oh God, I need to make a plot all of a sudden," and so he went, "Oh, you know all those fantasy books of the history of this thing? They're actually true." So he kind of it was a wild stab in the dark that just rolled a natural 20. So he
And it
didn't
does.
base
It
off
does
of
make a
literally
little.
nothing.
It does make a little sense because Diablos is an actual thing in this world, and you could imagine people worshiping it.
Yeah, it was like as if we said that dragons exist. And by the way, there's a secret cult of dragons, and
that's fine.
Stonehenge
Yeah, okay.
is actually where the dragon aliens came from. And
No, I thought it was a case of he just read it from a fucking bottle, right? Okay, that's fine.
No,
fine.
he kind of did. But he the first thing he does is he frees the girl who's been twisted into a thing, and then he says to her,
Alpha.
"What's going on?" It's like, you have the hero's blood because that's the actual story of the world, because he twists that like fairy tale into it, which is actually the truth. And then combined with that, there is a bottle of that represents Diablos, who is in that story as the villain, and it's like the drink of that. Diablos.
So it does kind of make
have-
sense. It's just that it's weird that it's actually true.
Have you ever seen what's that movie where the guy reads the wall and makes an entire story off of it?
12 Monkeys?
Kaiser Soches. No, it's got oh god, who's the is it American Beauty? Who's the main guy in American Beauty? Is it
Kevin
Bell?
No, Kevin
Spacey.
Spacey.
It's the one where
Yes.
Kevin Spacey is in a police room and he's reading what's behind the policeman and making an entire story
Kaiser
of what's
Soze.
on the wall.
No idea.
That movie, right? So basically, he did that and rolled a 20 and actually got the actual truth of the world.
I have
Thanks, Kat.
no issue with the fact that in like the first segment of this what's it called narrative, when he is a kid, he is able to outdo his sister, but he's playing along as if she is better than him, right? I hate the fact that his sister's had next to no presence in the entire series.
Yes.
Considering at the start she had a huge presence, and then
That's
just,
actually one of my big complaints.
right?
Is that he's got all these women as his shadows,
how-
and we never spend any time with any of them.
Doesn't matter, right? But how can you be Batman and not fucking be smart enough to realize that he is stood in his own goddamn bat cave that they fucking set up for him, and here's a pile of your bat money, and he's like, I'm gonna steal one of these. I'm like, no, it's your bat money. Take your fucking bat money, you goddamn fucking moron.
Yeah.
Fucking God, how stupid can you? Like, I don't get how he can be so goddamn stupid. I'm gonna make my own Batcave set.
He's a hero
in my
protagonist.
Fucking Deadpool isn't this stupid. Booster Gold isn't this
Deadpool's not
stupid.
a hero protagonist.
Right? Guy Gardner isn't this fucking stupid.
No,
Right?
I do feel you're right. This is Batman if he suffered a massive blow to the head one day and just
He's
lost
missing
an object
3/4 of his brain.
Yeah.
That's what I hate. I just hate the main character so much.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's
so
what I mean.
weak.
Is that is the one thing that annoys me, is that it's getting to the point. It's like, well, is Is he
Is
just
he just
misunderstanding
stupid?
things, or is he starting to realize, there's all these people talking about cults, and my people are actually seeming to do something about it, and they're actually doing stuff, and people are pretending to be Shadow Garden, which I set up, and they seem to fight us. That's weird. So it's I don't know. I think you just have to kind of accept that he is aware of it, but then it's like, if he's aware of it, doesn't he want to help find the heroes and move them along?
Here's
It's getting a bit like,
the
come on.
stupid thing. They had the whole terrorist arc, right? Fake Shadow Garden turns up. Real Shadow Garden turns up. He's of the whole like, oh, are these just paid extras? Right? Do you genuinely think, right, in your fight against this Dr. Doom motherfucker, that everyone here is paid? With what money?
And if they are, who did he kill? Like, he straight murked that guy with the I am atomic. That guy's dead.
I'm sorry.
Let's face it.
I'm sorry. He is just so goddamn conveniently stupid whenever he wants to be, and I hate it.
That's what what annoys me. Is like after the current episode, so I'm waiting for next week. It's like he's gonna have to start being a bit more acknowledging it. I'm hoping, because a character turns up that hopefully you don't hear what she says to him, might make him sort of be a bit more aware and confront it. But I don't know. He could equally, we could get to the next episode and he bloody thinks it's something else. Seeing as, like, as an example, like the girl who he's pretending to be an actual in the tournament that he beats, it's like it's the student council president who he dies in the to save in the start of the terrorist arc. She then falls in love with him, and he goes off to this place and in a train, and so she's got her whole carriage to herself. So she's like, "Oh no, you gotta spend time with me." And she's like, he thinks, she's just trying to get me in with her religion. Fucking
what?
No, she's. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's just so common, but it's just like, anyway. You got 80 minutes here, and I still haven't said my point of why I like the joke.
Sorry.
We keep fighting tangents.
Wait patiently. Okay. Reason why I think the show's good as a comparison. So what this is, right, is Overlord, where the protagonist doesn't sit around and do nothing all day long. It's still wrong what he's doing, as you pointed out correctly. It's still brain dead, but brain dead in a better way. And then what the show does is the side characters, which are so much. I want to spend more time with the side characters in the show. Where like I've given up on the Overlord ones. They're boring and they're bad interactions. Like the maids in the Overlord ones are the ones I want to spend time with, and they have had no interaction at all, apart from that one bit, which I think you guys, we did watch. Remember, it's like, oh, look at these maids in this fight. This is really interesting. Let's spend more time with these maids. No, we don't get to see the combat maids at all.
That's season 3, yeah.
Yeah, it was season 3. In season 4, there's none of that. I don't remember anything. You've just given up on the maids. Whereas in this, you do get bits and pieces more of it at the time with the shadows, and I want to spend more with them because they're all interesting. They've all got different quirks and things, and they're starting to show that kind of stuff of how they grew up and what was the plan and what was Alpha doing with them and things. Starting to do a bit of that, but I really like it that they've all got different little quirks. They all have to try and do different things at different times. They all have a different purpose, and so they're much more interesting to me than the Overlord characters. And so this is sort of Overlord with a better protagonist who's not gonna, like, for some reason has a strange fetish of sitting in his castle. This is Overlord with the protagonist of, like, this Overlord with a bit of Skeleton Knight protagonist, a bit of mentality put into him, and that's why I like this book.
Yeah, want to go see the world. I have one argument in favor of his stupidity. Do you remember how stupid Gowry was from Slayers?
Who?
No,
Gowry.
I don't see that.
No. Why do you keep bringing up Slayers?
Have you ever watched? Okay, it's a great.
Yeah,
it's a great,
I watched
it's
the
a great
whole thing.
comedy
I don't.
Show, and it
But
reminds me of this.
Nothing as good as
It's
it.
got the same energy. It reminds me. Yeah.
Slayers is leagues better.
Same energy. Same energy.
Anyway. We're gonna
Just
move
because
on
Slayers
now.
is better doesn't mean this doesn't
move on.
remind me of it.
Let's move on.
Right.
We've got.
God, we still got. Yeah. Should I save that until after Xeno has finished his?
Yeah, I think if that's your last one, Nazar,
That's my last one.
So let's do you want to do your last two, and then I'll do my. Xeno, you
No,
do
no,
one.
no,
I'll
no,
do one. You do one. Then we do.
I'm not going to spend long on this, right? So
Yeah,
first
yeah.
off, Urusei Yatsura is currently still ongoing, right? I was going to leave it off, but I kind of want to actually point out that I'm happy with how this series is going. David Production has done an excellent job in terms of the animation. It looks fantastic. they do like 2 stories per episode, not just one, and they do tend to overarch. We've just had the halfway point in the series, and they have swapped the intro and outro, and I'm sad. I want the intro and outro back.
Yeah.
No, they're good. They're still good. Don't get me wrong, but I was like, you know, when you listen to something for long enough, and then you just start getting into it, and you're like, you
look forward to it.
you know.
I felt that way about the Spy Family intro too. I thought the first one was way better.
Yeah,
but second one grew on me though. I really like the second one as well. I do agree with the first one, but yeah.
But the whole but this series is great. It's I kind of worried from the first few episodes that it was just going to be Ranma half the entire fucking thing, where it was the same narrative each time. Yes, characters are very cardboard cutout-ish in this, where you have the playboy who's constantly wanting to get into girls' pants, apart from the girls that actually have an interest in him. But the scenarios are constantly evolving. They're still adding new characters in, and even if these are like bit characters, they do bring good value to the series. So honestly, I'm impressed with this. It's very slice of life. Nasuth will hate it.
Oh, of course.
But I'm gonna give this an acquired taste. So, because I realised I forgot to give the thing, and now we're gonna move straight on to Loz's next thing.
To be fair, you say I'll hate it, but it may also carry that classic anime energy that I'd like. But who knows?
You hate everything good.
I also didn't get into a lot of classic slice of life like Tenchi.
No, it's fine.
Anyway, yes, Loz.
What's your last one?
Okay, I won't swim in too much on this because again, this is an ongoing thing. My Hero Academia. It's just kind of weird. We spent 12 episodes on a proper war fight thing, and actual people die. Actual main characters you've had since like the season 1 will die in this.
Wow.
Thing. So that is kind of good. That is kind of good that some of them just die really quickly. Others of them, they take a lot of blows, and it's like, no, now they're dead. And there's big reveals happen. It does feel like, right, we're going to get some stuff going, but at the same time, it doesn't feel definitive in a lot of ways, and it ends with just the main bad guys kind of getting away again. And obviously it's still going, so I'll have to let you know when it's almost like it is an arc within the 12 episodes that of this larger season. I don't know what it is, season 5, season 6, I don't know what it is.
Season 6, I believe.
We can get some good stuff like I'm not going to name names because I probably couldn't anyway, but you get heroes killing villains because they know that that the things are going to happen. It's like, right, well, I can either, I don't know, it's basically, if I don't kill this villain right here, right now, quickly, his power might turn the tide of the fight we're having, so I have to kill him before the fight starts. And so you do have that kind of stuff. You do have the team, the new people stepping up and coming together, some good stuff in there. Good character progression on some of the more annoying characters, like you got, was it Bakugo? Sometimes like he's just an annoying yelling idiot, does some really cool things, like surprising things, like why did he do that? And it's like, wow, that's impressive. Everyone gets worn down to just like from this fight. It's no hold barred. It's like they blow up a city. They blow up a city. They have like one of the giant villains charging through multiple cities. Villains die, heroes die. It's not like it's not a kill 'em all scenario here. I think maybe 12 heroes. You do see a thing like I watched this last episode, which is kind of a clip show thing, recounting the kind of what we've just done, and it showed like I think about 13 or 14 like faces, and those are the main ones which you saw that definitely died.
Does it have the same emotional gut punch that the death of Superman did in the 90s?
No way.
Oh.
Some of the people who died, some of the people die you've seen like once or twice before. And if you pause for hit spoilers, I'll tell you one person who has died, which is like really quite. Yeah, I'll put spoilers on this one. You guys want to know? Yeah, just let you know.
Yeah, sure.
I'm fine with it. Yeah.
She's called, is it Midnight or Lady Midnight?
Yeah,
the teacher.
Is she the? Yeah.
Who can like rip her clothes and like her body odor, like
yeah.
Like partway in a fight, one of the villains just who can make things out of like pellets. He stores things in pellets. He just brings out a whole chunk of concrete, and she's in midair, just whacks her.
Ooh.
And then from then on, you don't see her, and it just keeps cutting back to just, when you're seeing like all the people died, and then she's just there on the floor in this forest. And it's only now in the last episode that the students have finally found her body, and they're like just crying over it. And it's like, wow, it's so it is harsh. Yeah.
That's it's like, that would really hit home. I like that a lot, because all too often the characters that end up kicking the bucket, they're just like, who are you?
Yeah, exactly. Some of them are in this. Some of them are. I think if you rewatched all the season, there'll be the other seasons. You probably could see some of the other heroes. I can't remember all their names, but they are. You've seen this guy from the years of that. But there's a guy who can. Oh God, what's his name? Shield or something. And he was in a previous season for one episode. He just gets turned to dust in 2 seconds at one point. He just says, Eraserhead chops his own leg off at one point.
Wow.
Because in a previous season that you guys haven't seen, there's these bullets that can remove people's quirks. And Eraserhead, who's locking down the main villain's power, they try and chuck a bullet at him to take his powers away, and so he just lops his leg off. Just chops his leg off to stop the thing you get to him. So yeah. It is tangible and good, but it was really quite laboured, because they're basically fighting in this destroyed city, and we're doing a lot of fighting in this bloody destroyed city, and everyone is just on the floor most of the time, and then someone gets up, and someone else gets up, and it's just like, it's just I feel a bit exhausted from it, to be honest. It's just the important things are happening, but then then someone turns I don't know if you know, in the League of Villains there's a fire guy who's got torn sewn skin called Abby.
Yeah.
He after everything's gone bad, he reveals himself after all the heroes are crippled and things, after fighting the main villain who was half awoken, as what's the number? The number 2 hero?
I know who you're talking about. The Totodori.
Totodori's dad.
Yeah.
Oh God. I can't
Endeavor. Yeah.
Yeah. He reveals himself as one of Endeavor's previous children, who they thought was dead, and he declares himself of I'm his failure. I'm one of his failures, and I turn to them. Yeah, and so it's because all he pursued was this perfect child, and look what I've done, and look, I am the result of his thing, and it just crushes Endeavor, and he's just sitting there on the floor, staring up at what he thought was dead son. And it's
right.
So it's still got some heavy notes. Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, so it's important, but at the same time, it's so tiring. This bunny girl who is very fan favorite. She just keeps going until she puts herself in the hospital. It's ridiculous. Breaks both of her legs and things. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, it's just.
Damn.
Wow. Yeah, very, very heavy hitting. Anyway, let's move on to your last one, Xeno, because it's not finished.
No, I do have one other thing to add. So the show started in 2016, so it's 6 years old. Imagine a kid who started watching it at 11, who is now 17, who gets to, without going back into the spoilers, gets to these scenes that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And imagine, we're adults, obviously, so it hits differently. Imagine somebody that age who sees it, and it's like, ooh.
Yep. Right. And because we all basically want to talk about Gundam, we've moved that one to last. So we're going to move into my last one, which is Bocchi the Rock. So this is one that I would happily say we all slept on. This is a slice of life that halfway through the series just started getting nothing but all the memes. Right?
It sure did.
The memes just blew up over this. And
remember how My Dress Up Darling was the meme? At a certain point, it just hit. That's what this became.
Yeah, but that was episode 2, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
Darling, that was episode 2, right? For this, it was episode 6 or 7, right? But AniTubers were recommending this, and it was just it's one of those anime that you just end up sleeping on. Personally, and I haven't done one yet, this is a must-watch.
I thought you were gonna say that, and from the sounds of it,
It's funny. Okay, so here's
Nasuth doing a quick alt tab to his document a minute. Right.
I meant to. Yeah.
There you go.
Right. So here's the big thing. Right. This is how self-aware Bocchi the Rock is. The main character suffers from social anxiety. She is wanting to make friends. So she wants to get beyond it.
Oh, look, it's Kobe.
Yeah, kind of. But
Yeah.
But the thing with Bocchi is she's such a wallflower, like no one knows she exists kind of thing. But it is so self-aware, it will make meme anime references to other anime. The best one is a Yamcha death pose.
Yes.
In the crater.
Yes, that
right?
was so memed just everywhere. Oh.
No. Bocchi references, like does it, right?
No,
they
that's what I mean.
In
that's
the
what I mean.
episode.
Yeah,
oh, right,
the meme
sorry.
of the Bocchi version became a meme.
Yes. So it's like, it's a brilliant series. It's really wholesome. It's really slice of life. The music's really good. The animation's excellent. It's just a fun, dumb laugh. If you enjoy My Dress Up Darling, if you enjoy Homie Can't Communicate, you're going to enjoy Bocchi the Rock. You know, it's constantly shifting art style, as we can see on screen right now. Yeah, it's just brilliant. I can't recommend it enough. Silence.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I can't really say anything about it. So yeah, it sounds.
Everyone's frantically like adding it to their lists. Let's watch. Right.
I was gonna play the trailer, but I don't know if that would.
No.
I don't.
No.
I was gonna play it for us, like in the corner, but yeah, I don't think I should.
No.
Let's just. Shall we get to it? Shall we get to the glory, the passion? So Gundam. I don't. You guys are probably gonna kill me. I'm gonna give it an acquired taste.
No, you're wrong.
No,
You're wrong.
That's why
You're wrong. You are wrong.
All right, I will cede, since this is a group effort on this one. I will cede
I
to
will
the group.
concede
Very,
it's
very
not an
high-end
act-
acquired taste, though.
Yes, there you go. Yeah. Well, okay.
No, it's just
I would
must
say
watch.
very low-end must-watch.
Must watch, yeah.
Must-watch, but there's a few
Close
issues
enough,
which
yeah.
Yeah.
We basically landed in the same place, right on that border.
Yes, but we're on one side where it belongs, and you're on the other side being like, meh, meh, meh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Being wrong.
thought episodes 1 to 6 were pretty good. I thought episodes 7 to 10 kind of dragged. I felt like it got bogged
Get out.
down in a lot
Get
of
the fuck out.
the school stuff, a little more than it needed to. I was kind of like,
What
come on,
school
we're done.
stuff?
Wow,
We're done with
I was
the
kind of like,
duels.
I would have accepted a little bit more school stuff because I'm
There
like,
isn't
No.
any.
yeah.
No school stuff.
Right, Nasuth.
No, there really was.
Apart from the being in a mech, have you ever seen them go to class?
No, but it's not that kind of school.
Yes,
What
it
kind
is.
of school is it then, Nazar?
It's a battle school.
Weirdly enough, in battle schools, they tend to have classes.
They have a whole. They even state that like the female the white haired
Mechanics?
girl no she's she's like the wizard of the business school classes.
Fair enough.
You
Fair
know?
enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. I don't know. I don't know. It just felt weirdly slice of lifey for a bit there, and I was like, okay, can we really get back to the actual political machinations and not the twice removed political machinations?
So at this point in time, I want to destroy Nasuth.
Okay,
However,
go for
Loz
it.
is
Yeah,
going
no.
to destroy Nasuth.
Yeah, go for it. I mean,
Gotta
by
say,
the end, it picked back up. I was really happy
Yes,
by the last episode.
Okay, yes. Okay. So, is there any generic meta statements anyone wants to say before we whack that spoiler button?
Have you actually watched a Gundam before ever?
Yeah.
You're complaining about the political statements. That is all Gundam is. It's political statements through.
No, I was complaining about the political machinations being twice removed from where we were focused. You did not listen to me, Xeno.
Where are we twice removed focus?
No, I know. No.
What is it-
Basically, what
translate
Nat was
those.
wanting is a generic, is a standard Gundam show. where you know, to do that we have to like have constant feedback. I see what he means but I don't like if the show Nasuth wants is that we're basically, instead of remove the school and have sort of like the you know, that episode when they like showcasing their mobile suits, like it was more of a business side of things. You've got the businesses competing, and it's just the businesses competing that escalates into the war. Because that's what you've kind of got, but then you've got the slap of the school filter over the top of it. And so he wants more of that sort of the business intrigue of like, this business did this, and then you know.
Yeah. By episode 6, I felt like we had a handle on the kids and everything, and it was time to start pushing more into that world.
I mean, I would have thought the whole trying to sell and pitch Gundam Inc. with the whole like
as a medical technology, but that has nothing to do with. That has really nothing to do with what was actually going on in the background with the political machinations that were really happening.
Yeah, but that's the whole point, though, isn't it? It's like, you know, we're trying to sell it as this one thing, but the problem is everyone keeps on bringing it back as a weapon.
No, that was no.
Have you guys ever seen the Mitchell and Webb skit of Doctor Death?
No.
Okay, I'm going to show it to you after this, because that's exactly what you're basically saying. I'm like, I can't just keep bringing it back as a weapon. There is some sort of deeper thing going on with even the... Because, like, it's never made sense. It's like, okay, so this technology, it kills people when they fly it around in a giant mobile suit.
Yeah.
Right, how about, so you don't use it for that bit, but you keep the medical stuff that lets people without limbs
that makes sense. That's great, yeah.
And so it's always felt weird that even right from the prologue, there's this weird disconnect that, like, no, the technology can be used for mobile suits, and if some idiot uses it in a mobile suit, they may hurt themselves, so we won't let it exist. It's like,
so it should be banned.
So it should be outright banned, even though it'll let people walk and have arms which are indistinguishable from other arms. And you know, I imagine, because you see that one with the back, it's like probably complete paralysis could be cured through this technology. No, because people might put it in a mobile suit. It's like people saying, like, no, we can't have steam engines because somebody might power a tank with them. It's like, why? What? You know, it's like, or they might power battleships with these steam engines, so no one can have a steam engine. But I just want to use it to heat my house. No, you're not allowed this. It's like, what? So I can understand that more of that kind of stuff explained, but that's because it's saving, it's building towards something now.
I really hope so. It really does feel like it. It really now, like I said again, 7 to 10 were my biggest complaints. 11 to 12 were amazing, and 1 to 6 were great. There was 1 to 6 were a really great lead-in. It just really dragged through 7 to 10 for me.
And hang on, let me get a list up so I can have a look at what's.
I can only assume you just don't like the duels.
That's part of it, yeah. And again, I would have been fine with that because of what happens. Shall we go to spoilers?
Right, yeah. Is there anything else we want to say? We like the show. Anything else you want to say?
To me,
generic, massive.
Yeah, to me, I kind of feel that the school element just doesn't flat out exist. It is like the most. They have uniforms, but how on earth to like, hey, you know, here's what's called a mobile suit. We're gonna run you through a course to go and, you know, learn how to pilot to these mobile suits, or here's what's called. We're gonna like, surely these things cost a metric fuck ton. It's like, here you go. Here's a Harrier jump jet that costs $1 million. I'm gonna teach you how to pilot that as a kid. Don't break it. Like it.
Maybe not a bit, I guess. But this is supposed to be the elite of the elite. These are like literally if the people, the CEOs of, I don't know, BA Systems and Raytheon were like, hey, we want our kids to go to a school. You know, they got all the money. And so like, hey, we're going to get a school where our kids can learn how to fly stealth biters that we produce. That'd be what we'd have in the modern world. And so I can see this happening. But
I can also, but I query the whole Earthian side of things, because that's supposed to be like the whole gap, the societal gap in things. But it's just like, but Earth is made out to be like only, you know, poor people live on Earth now.
It's not quite. I don't think it's poor people live on Earth. It's just that
there are massive swamps that are devastated.
it's seen as that space is the more preferred place to be. The way that most Gundam works is that space is to give resources because we're on Earth and Earth is brilliant. This has now flipped it that like, hey, if you live in space, you get all this tool technology. Why do we want to be down on Earth with gravity? Which kind of makes sense because it's like, well, when I'm in space, I can travel to the moon, I can travel to Mars, I can fly around all the stuff. When I'm on Earth, it's really hard to get off the ground. It really is like,
And they can still simulate gravity if they want to. So they get the best of everything.
But they're almost the masters of gravity. And
exactly.
They can turn it on and off if they want. Whereas on Earth, you're stuck down there. So they've gone, well, we'll just strip mine resources and bring it up into things. So they've become the colonies. They're just oppressed. It's like, well, we're in space where this cool technology exists. You're just down there. You give us resources, and like we've taken most of them. So you just shut up. Stop moaning.
So, I just feel like the school was just non-existent in this.
I do feel. I see what you mean. In my opinion, the school was a clever marketing trick. Like, obviously, there's people who like, right, we need to make the.
And yet it was the whole student council bullshit.
We need to sell. No, okay. The whole goal of this is we need to keep our IP going. We need to sell model kits to a new generation and bring in younger kids because otherwise they'll just keep older. How can we make this popular? Schools are cool and they always do well. Right, let's get this thin veneer of a school and pull this gently across our gunpla.
Which is why I hated it so much. It's so out of place and wrong.
But what student council? There was
the blonde kid and his lackeys? That's the student council.
No, that's
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No, it's not. The blonde kid is the leader of the dueling committee.
Yeah.
All the girls he has. No, all the girls
are the same role. It fills the same role.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
no,
it doesn't.
No, it doesn't because the rest of the dueling council, what you're saying, the student council, they're not all those girls. Those girls are different.
Yeah.
Right? There's other girls and other boys who are the council. There's like
Ellen's one of
this
them.
guy's brother. This guy's brother. He's on it.
Yeah, he's on it. What's got the white-haired girl that we have no name for
she's
is
not
on
done
it.
much. No, she has got.
Yeah, she hasn't. Also the kid that like has the Horror, the little orb. I can't remember. Are they called Horrors? Harrows. Sorry, thank you. He's in it as well. They've done absolutely
and yet Blondie
nothing.
and his little lackeys are able to unilaterally make a new rule that outlaws their company in order to try and manipulate them into coming to him. It's the student council. You cannot tell me it does not save the same rule as the student. No, it was the dueling committee.
I don't think it was the dueling committee. Sorry, it was one of the harem. No, one of the harem is on the actual student council.
Yeah,
because he does turn to one of them and says,
the same role. Effectively fills the same role. They have all the power.
No, it's intrigue within the school. That's the thing. I mean, I do feel.
Okay, where's the sports festival? No. Where's the cultural festival, Nasuth?
That's the dueling.
Right? That's
the dueling. The
they
dueling
have so many festivals.
The dueling fills
Where's
that
the
role.
midterms, Nasuth?
The dueling fills that role.
I feel you could easily stretch this first season where we get to it into a 26 episode season and have more generic school stuff filtered in there. I think they sensibly come up with it kind of fits the setting because they went, okay, so we're gonna have a school, right? And then they built from there and they said, okay, we're having a school to make it school because the other thing is, let's be fair, school uniforms sell. That's the whole thing. That's another reason why they've decided like that sell to kids like school uniforms, and thus we can have our cool looking characters in school uniforms that appeals to kids. So that's another reason why they've done it. And then they've gone, well, okay, we're in a Gundam universe, so is there conflict? And they've gone, no. It's like, okay, so now they've put it at peace. So they have built from there. So they can't just like, oh, it's a school in a war. It doesn't make sense. They'd immediately ship everyone off to war. So it's a peaceful thing, but we've got to have some conflict. So we have the which is something in most Gundam shows is kind of on the back foot. There's a company in the main Gundam universe called Anaheim Electronics, and they're on the moon. They basically sell to Zeon and to the Earth at the same time. And it never really gets held to a put until like later seasons. There's nobody really hold them as account. Whereas in this, they've kind of expanded on that. We've got multiple companies kind of competing and things and doing stuff. And I feel we could have had 25 episodes, and I would love to see more company versus company backdoor stuff. Would have been cool. I'd love to see more duels. We only get a touch on them. More duels of like the different companies fighting each other over different things. You see a few of them.
One.
You see the other Gundam.
Ellen and Jitark. I can't
remember.
No,
you do see Ellen take out 3. He fights 3 like he does have another duel with 3 normal mechs, and he beats
I don't
them.
remember that one.
Yeah, it's kind of just on the side, but I really think this duel thing could have been expanded upon, and we could have got more time with the characters, and they could have done more school things. We could have had like, but if you want to know why we probably don't have that, is I think it's Gundam Build Divers, the first season. You know, it had silly things like Gundam races and such in the MMO thing, and I think they're just trying to like not touch too much of that. They wanted the school, they wanted the uniforms, they wanted the kids knowing each other thing before we go to a massive war. I feel it's done a good job. I feel it's balanced it all quite well.
Okay. Do we
haven't hit spoilers yet?
Yeah, I know. I was about to say, do we want to hit the spoilers? Or does Nasuth have any other points that he wants to...
Nope, my next point is in spoilers anyway.
Okay, go for it.
So it would have been fine with the duels because it built towards Suletta being like, oh no, shit's real now. In like episode, was it 11 or 12? Either one of the two. And that would have been fine because she has that internal struggle with herself, and she's clearly frightened when she goes out into with Ariel. But then she just at the very end straight up kills a guy, smacks him into the ground like a fly, and she's just like, everything's fine. Wow, she got over that quick. She got over that real fucking quick. I'm just saying.
I am in agreement with you on this one. I actually had this conversation with Loz.
And that's part of why the duels annoy me, because they have no point.
No, they do. Because
let's focus on the event.
The smash.
Right. No. I would say if you see in other Gundam series, they do put a lot of emphasis on, especially these ones Drew hasn't even seen, all the ones where it's a kid who is being forced into a war of adults. They always have the kids versus the adults, and the kids just don't understand if the adults can just communicate better. Why are we fighting each other? And and then it's very famous actually in the original Gundam series. The captain slaps the main character Amuro. Right, he actually does slaps Amuro, and there's a few memes comparing this slap that we've had today and that slap.
Oh my god!
To be like, you need to grow up, you need to fight, because if we don't, we're all gonna die. And it's like it's a big point, and it's kind of like a coming of an age thing. It's like, I know you don't want to fight, you don't want to kill people. This, that, and there's like this thing about the that attitudes of a child, and it won't exist in the universe. And it's like in how you've got to do this, otherwise I will die, you will die, people you care about will die. You have to make the choice. Get it, and that gets stupidly filtered all the way down to just the get in the robot Shinji, when there's a whole lot more. That's what that was trying to play off of, but there's a whole lot more to that about a kid coming to age. Like, you have to get into that to do things. It's like, you don't want to, you have to, So Suletta gets this a bit differently though, because she's had all this time fighting for just growing up with Ariel. She's gotten in that robot, never with the idea she's going to kill someone. And then I will say, I bet you what's going to happen is that you're talking about an after credits thing that was put on as kind of, I think, like a teaser into the next season. I bet you that scene will be at the start of the next season and will be a bit longer and a bit more explained, because they've literally had to squeeze it in, and I think it'll be a bit different at the start of season 2. It'll be a little bit more. I think it will be. It'll be a bit more, but because they have to filter.
Because I'm worried that they're going to use it
for the keyframes. They've just gone for the keyframes of the scene, basically. I'm
really worried that they're going to use it for drama to try and drive these two apart. Because they did that earlier too, with the whole oh no, she doesn't need me anymore thing, and that would really annoy me too. That was more of that high school sort of drama.
Yeah, but it's like if here's the two moving together, right? These two characters, they come together, and
wait,
drama pushes them apart.
Real quick.
Hang on. So drama comes apart.
Okay.
So that was like the way these stories go is they're going together. Drama pushes them apart a little bit, that makes them come back together again.
Yeah, but that was
really
longer.
Then a big drama pushes them
really
apart and brings them back together again.
Right.
But it was the little drama, and now this is the serious one, so they can reflect between them.
Right, Nasuth, right. You hate this, right? No.
I don't hate this. I hate parts of this.
No. You hate that element, right?
Oh, yeah.
You hate the whole. Right, okay. Make sure you never ever watch Gundam Seed. Right? Because I'm gonna tell you now.
Thank you.
Right. So in Gundam Seed, right? what's called this female protagonist, or just side character. She blames the destruction of a colony that her father managed and maintained on. Huh?
He also died.
Yeah. So he dies. She blames it on the main protagonist Gundam pilot.
Yes.
Right? Even though he had nothing to do with it.
Okay, but is he related to them? Is he family? Is he,
No.
no.
So
he's a new type, isn't he?
He's the equivalent thereof. In this one, basically, she's sort of, just to compare it to Witch of Mercury, is if she's an Earthian, her dad was an Earthian, and he is a Spacian, but he's actually on the Earthian side, and so she blames him for everything the Spacians do.
Yes.
Okay.
Even though she's right. So even though he is on their
blatant racism angle. All right. Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Even though he is doing everything right. So
even though he's literally kept her alive, and if he isn't around, she'd be dead by this point.
Her plan, right? I'm not making this up. Her plan is if she has sex with him, he will go out and fight more and die.
Yes.
Brilliant move. Yes, I can see. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. That is her plan.
Yep.
His reaction is.
I think I think again, just to point out, I haven't watched it recently, but I do believe he was in that bit of I'm the main protagonist Gundam pilot. I don't want to go out and kill people. And so she thinks,
he was,
and so
right?
Yeah, so he's in that lost thing, and the solution of this show was we'll get the girl to sleep with him, and then so then that'll give him the reason to get in the Gundam.
Yeah. Now his motivation is I'm gonna get in the Gundam to go fight and kill the bad guys because I want to keep having sex. Right? That's his plan. That's his motivation. I'm coming back. Right? And it's just like, wow, that backfired.
Is it supposed to be a comedy or is it supposed to be a drama?
Oh no, it is 100% a drama. It's a complete shit show.
No.
It is stupid. It is.
You look at the screen in sheer disbelief. It's like, how did you think this was going to work? Like, what? You thought he'd go out there and get himself killed? No, he's going to go out there and be like, damn, I want to kill these, get back to the ship because of what I know what I got on that ship. Gotta protect that ship. And that ship needs to survive now.
It worked in Rumble Grandal because that was a comedy. But yeah, okay. Yeah,
no, it's so yeah. You have problems with that. Sorry, with Witch from Mercury. I get it. I 100% get it. Trust me, your head will implode if you watch Gundam Destiny.
Yeah. So I think it's a bit hard to blame or to overthink that end credit thing because it was an end credit thing. Yeah. We're probably going to get that in a bit more detail. We're going to see like. We could probably see in the expanded scene, maybe we'll get like from Suletta's view when she's on the other side of that wall and she's got her gun bits giving her the scan and she sees the person coming up with a gun and she's like, oh my god, he's got a gun and he's going towards her. I've got to save her now.
Yeah, but it's still just the cheery nature after her first murder.
Right, so Nasuth, right? Loz doesn't agree with this. That's perfectly fine because I can also see him with his valid points of not agreeing with what I'm about to say. I question whether or not Suletta's mother has actually brainwashed Suletta.
Brainwash is too far.
Okay, fine. Used brain drugs. I don't know. Those feel free to pitch in an alternative word.
No. She has over the years. No. It's with her. She's almost got like it's close to, I would say hypnotized, close to hypnotized or ingrained mental conditioning.
Yes,
there you go.
Because
she can trigger it with the things like if you run away, move one forward, move one forward. And it almost needs to be a reinforcement in her mind. So it's like I must achieve anything. Why? Because I must move forward.
Yes.
It's a mental thing. You start off making someone do. Let's say you could use this to trick someone who say like won't get out of bed. You say, okay, well, make 2 steps forward, move a leg today, and you keep using that as their method to anytime they make progress, you've got to push them on to the next step by
you kind of see this earlier on in the series when I can't remember the exact events, but when her mum asks her a question, Suletta gets really excited about the answer, right? It's almost like new and innovative to her. Like, she has no idea what this concept is. And it's just the mother character, her mum, saying that to her. And it happened again in the last episode of this season, where the mum basically triggered her, right, to get up and fight after she was shocked by the fact that people had just died in front of her. She said if you run, you gain 1. If you move forward, you gain 2. And Suletta just sort of went with it. So that is a possibility. Likewise, you know, she could just be in complete shock. It could be fucking anything, right? I think there's going to be more to it, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Bandai Namco did it just to drive hype for Season 2. No, so, like, it's crazy because we've got the new alternative form of Ariel, right? Because it looks now more like 00. But it's already got a model kit for it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's fucking fast.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred. Sure, go ahead.
A lot of it's going to be reused from the first kit, is how they'll do it.
That's true.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
I was just trying to actually watch.
You know?
I'm just trying to think. I was thinking it'd be really clever if in the scene, the episode before.
Well, I think there's another time when, you know, they're at the business thing, and Celeste is like super quiet and intimidated by the whole thing. Her mum turns up, and all of a sudden, she's like a soldier at attention. Her mum says, "Can you go get me a drink?" And she just flies off. Like, she couldn't let go of Minori at any point in time.
I think that was the first time she'd seen her mum since the start of the season, though.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't it?
Definitely wasn't.
When was the other time?
When they were at the school.
When was the mum at the school?
I can't remember, but I definitely know that it was because... oh no, she would have seen her mum after her arrest for having a Gundam.
No.
She definitely spoken to her mum. No, I remember her being in the same room as her mum.
No.
Make me fucking look it up.
No, because her mom went to... Didn't she go to Earth? And
Mum went to like the
plea?
council of things. And,
yeah,
I don't think.
No, that was that was before they saw face to face. I'm just gonna look it up.
I don't know. I feel you're gonna have to prove that, and otherwise that's for someone seeing my majors. But no, I was looking at the episode before, and I was wondering if there was a clever thing when she's in the toilet and she's really sad and things. If the mum was gonna pull the line then, but she doesn't.
Oh no, that's when Mori
did.
Mori
but thing she was hearing. But I thought it would be good if there was the same line like that she was a bit doubtful, and then her mum pulled the line on her, and that would have been clever. But anyway, I really feel that thing was like, right, we wanna drive hype for the mid-season break. Got to keep it going, and that was just a clever way of doing it. Honestly though, here's the thing with that scene, and I know you guys have you're still in the knee jerk. Oh my god, that's just crazy. She's like psycho. Apart from the little bit ditzy, and she's got blood on her hand, and she's not freaked out by it, she did nothing wrong.
She's like smiling and happy and just
right. So your issue
excited.
Is not that she killed someone; it's that she's just okay with it that she killed someone to save someone's life. People's lives.
It's that before she was so freaked out about anyone getting killed. And now there's like a switch flipped, and she's just like, that's fine.
Nasuth, she's moved forward. There's a really clever foreshadowing when she's talking to her mum, and then she steps into the room. She's in a room that the blood hasn't actually crossed into the little bit where she's hiding, and she steps into the bloodied room.
Yeah.
And it says, "I've moved forward."
Yeah.
It's really clever foreshadowing. I mean, it is a bit. It does feel like she's gone from just like. Absolutely, I mean, those two people were shot, but it's like at the same time, it's just I don't know. It feels like it was just
she's a girl who gets nervous over every little thing, and suddenly, you know.
I found it. You are right. It's literally the episode after the the business thing that they're in the same office space.
Oh yeah, when that's the bit with the arm where it's like it's an arm. It's like no, that's Mum's arm.
Yeah.
No, that was afterwards. Yeah, that's the first time I've seen a mum in ages. But yeah, so I do feel it's a bit of a progression. But at the same time, you could also think it's hard to say. She could be roughly in shock, and she's just not processing anything at the moment. And then she'll go to bed the next night and wake up. Oh my god, I killed someone. You know, it's hard to say from such a teaser of the thing. You know, it could be like you've watched two people die, and the mum's like, "You've got to move forward. You've got to, you know, if you didn't kill them, they would have killed you. You don't want that. You don't want minorities to die. You don't want Ariel to be destroyed. You need to move forward. You need to do this." And she might just go and click in her head, right? I need to do this now. And that later she'll be like, "Wait a minute, what did I do?" You know, because you can get that.
Yeah.
It's shock. She's a kid.
That's
like
true.
You say, you know, it's the loss of innocence. She hasn't even realised.
Just wait for the PTSD.
I just really hope it doesn't get used. I just hope it gets used for cheap drama or for good drama, and not cheap drama. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'll give you on that. I do feel that her brain is almost shut down. Like you say, she's rolling. Yeah. Like she falls in the blood.
That's fine.
It's almost like her brain is shut down. What I don't mind it's that side of it if that gets addressed. But the thing I don't like is that the girl just calls her a murderer, and I'm like,
Minori.
You were 2 seconds away from dying, and your dad was trying to keep alive. And
that was also really annoying.
I've realized. I worked it out, guys. I have sussed what it is. So basically, her mum has turned on the Chinese blood filter. So it's not blood. It's just. It's
the
it'll be white.
Yes, everything's just white.
Oh, it wasn't a person she crushed. It was a robot person.
It's just a bag of milk.
It was the alien robot milk stuff in the body. Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to make the joke.
Good joke. But I think it will be used for a bit of cheap drama at the same time. But to be honest, the thing that gets me is that I mean, she hasn't acknowledged it in her brain. I think she's kind of slightly snapped because she's just trying to keep her friends alive. You know, she's there's a lot to put on her. She's say something. I don't think she's intentionally been like, I'm a psycho killer now. But at the same time, I don't get girl being like, I'm going to keep you alive, Dad, and then I'm going to moan at you when you're dead. Oh, this person's going to shoot me with a gun. Oh, well, you stop that. That means you're a murderer.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? That's the side I don't like.
Wait,
that's the side I don't. I'm
also,
like,
how did she bash her way in there without creating a vacuum? Just saying.
yeah, that's a fair point. It's not used, but A, bulkheads, B, the gun bits might be able to form a shield. C, it hasn't been shown, but in most Gundam shows, what they actually have is when a vacuum happens within the space, there are it's like pink blobs get released that go towards get sucked out, and then when they hit the area, they form like a blob.
Like platelets. Interesting.
Yes, exactly. That kind of theory. But so none of that showed. But you make a point that wasn't a vacuum right away, or maybe actually, well, that's the thing. We don't know if she came in from space or from another section.
True.
So that's the thing. Yeah. Maybe if we saw her coming in up to that room, you know, maybe she just rushed and panicked, and then she's like, "Oh my god, I saved her! Oh wow, I saved you! Wait, what's?" And she just rolls it. It's like, "I'm such a klutz, but at least they saved you." Wait, what? And then maybe if the first, what happens if the first few seconds of that scene continued is her looking down at her hand and be like, "What am I covered in?" If that's the next line, what would you guys say?
That'd be much better.
Yeah. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be a time skip. There's going to be a time skip.
Oh, we'll have a time skip and then flashbacks.
I'd be impressed if we get flashbacks. But
yeah, no, because I'll have to address this. They've made, as I've pointed out, this is conflict between these two main characters. Right, so going away from that now. So how do we feel has their relationship happened?
Do we turn off spoilers?
No.
Okay.
My goodness.
No.
Welcome to the Gundam Hour.
Yeah, no. Well, I just wanted to focus. I want to praise the show a bit more in different ways. I might feel that people might point out and say, "Oh, well, you need to go watch this show or this show from the West." But I wanted to point out that I feel this show has done. We've got female on female relationship done very well, very maturely. It doesn't draw attention to it all the time. I don't know if you guys did you guys watch the oh god, Doctor Who with what's the name of the guy? Oh god, who was before? Not
Capaldi?
Matt Smith, after Matt Smith. Capaldi. Did you watch Capaldi's episode with what is it? What was the assistant?
Missy?
The black girl. No, the black girl companion. Billy? Bill?
No. Don't remember. I don't think
Basically, she had to remind you at least every other episode that she was a lesbian.
Yeah.
She would just rub it in people's faces. I'm a lesbian. Oh, there's a story about a lesbian. Oh, I'm interested in girls. And then like a man from a past from like the 1950s who'd be like, oh my god, what's this? This is so weird. She's a lesbian. You know. Instead, this show is just mature about it. It doesn't bring it up every episode. These are just characters and they have relationships. It's just so. I just want to point out. It's just like, why can't we do this in the West? It's just so much more mature.
I mean, a big part of me is like, how often do we see that in like real life where people just go, "Oh no, I'm heterosexual. I'm straight.
Exactly.
I'm just like they don't like. I get it. If you see us a heterosexual relationship, like yes, they will. I want to say flaunt it in public, fine. But at the same time, I've seen homosexual relationships where they flaunt it in public. But they don't just as they're walking down the street, they don't just go, I'm gay too. Oh god, we're so gay together. Like no one does that, right? Yeah. And I love the relationship between Celeste and Minori in this. Yeah. You know,
I want to say that's getting better, but I also I don't really keep up with a lot of popular media, so it may just be the shows that I watch are doing a better job of it. I don't know.
No,
if you can give me some examples, I'd be fine. Another example I want to point out is which does it in a very. No, I've only watched a little bit of She-Ra. I haven't watched too much of that. I don't. Does that do a ram it in your face kind of thing?
Nope. It's so much subtler than that.
Oh yeah, it builds up over like the entire show.
It's. I wouldn't say it's subtler than this, but that's the thing. It's hints until it's like, you know, characters saving each other. It's like, I love you too, and like,
and it's just like, it's that makes sense.
Okay, it's not as bad as Legend of Korra, right? Nowhere near as bad as that.
That one's awful.
Right? But
we are lesbians now. We are going to walk into the sky.
Okay. Yeah, but it's not as subtle as this. It doesn't feel as natural as this.
Well, and I want to point out the thing that a show that I don't feel, looking back on it, does a great job of it is Steven Universe. I feel it kind of does actually just ham-fist its way through this kind of thing instead of doing it in a very natural way.
I have heard good things of Owl House. I've heard that's done it quite well.
I've not seen Owl House.
No, neither have I.
Yeah, I mean, at the time watching, I thought Steven Universe was doing a good job of it, but then you see something like this, and it just does it just so much better. I mean, there was one comment at the start where the selector was like, "Wait, but you're a girl." It's like, "Oh, well, at Mercury, you guys must be a bit old-fashioned." And I was like, "That's a really clever way of doing it." And then just that's it. Just get on with it from now. Just like, yeah. And so, you know, we've got loads more relationships in the show. I just feel it's just, you know, and this is, by the way, this is still technically aimed at kids, and I feel it's just so much more mature way of addressing the issue than just making it. And like, the characters themselves are not defined by their sexuality. They might have a sexuality this way or the other or different, whatever, but they don't go around, as you said, like wearing it like a blazoned across their chest. They are characters with other flaws and descriptions, and they're doing other things which are more important, and that's just a side aspect which enhances and allows them to have certain key relationships. I feel it's done very well in the show and should be held up as an example.
Yeah,
that's all I just want to say. That. Yeah. Yep. Right. Is there anything else you want to say? I know I see it's on 36 minutes for this, but it's just so worth it. I can't wait.
There's a lot to say. Yeah.
I will say that I think this is one of the better Gundams to get into thus far. Right. I hate to say this, a lot of Gundam shows tend to flop it at the end. Like, I will say, I love the first season of 00. Second season is quite meh until the very end, where they pull it back. Turn A Gundam, it just fucking is. It's just there, right? Then you have, oh god, is it? Shit, it wasn't War in the Pocket, which was the one with Bernie. No, it is War in the Pocket. It is War in the Pocket. So I was getting it mixed up with Stardust Memory. Yeah, and then he's like, fucking Bernie Y.
Bernie Y.
Fucking Bernie Y.
Bernie Y.
Yeah, there is so many other Gundams out. And Iron-Blooded Orphans, right? Iron-Blooded Orphans, first... I argue the first season is pretty good, right? Second season is pretty strong still, but they fuck the ending so hard. Yeah. It's like, you know, they're doing all the pirouettes, they're doing all their flips and shit, and then all of a sudden they just crumple the landing. And it's just like, what did you do?
Well,
you know,
it's like the I don't know. I would say more that they brought they got somebody who's like an excellent script writer, and then all of a sudden they ran out of budget for him, and they walked out the door, and they're like, how do we finish this? They all die. They all do stupid things and then die.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, Gundam Wing, nothing wrong with it.
Gundam. There's so many things wrong with Gundam Ring. The stupid whole pacifism thing is just too far. Gundam was obviously is a show that is basically telling you war is bad. That's what every Gundam show tries to do. Just some of them do it in really bad ways. And the whole like Relina Peacecraft, whatever, has her pacifist kingdom. But at the same time, she's technically defended by invincible Gundams, so she is able to have that position.
Wait, do they have Gundams?
Defended by invincible Gundams.
I'm a pacifist, but I've got this nuke.
I thought the Taurus mobile suits...
Yeah, they've got some Tauruses, yeah, I'll give you that. But at the same time, are the Gundams going to defend her? Yes.
Oh,
so technically, they're on her side. So at any moment, she could snap her fingers and be like, I'm under attack. And then invincible Gundams turn up.
We're fighting you for peace!
I'm a pacifist Gundam!
Yep. Anyway. But yeah, honestly, this one is one of the much better ones. I think the only one that I'd really say that beats this, that isn't really a proper Gundam, is Build Fighters.
Well, yeah, they're actually that's there was one last spoiler. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Because I was just going to do a few predictions. The Gundam, I'll show you the timeline thing, but most people like count the Build series as not proper Gundam series. They are kind of a Build Gundam series, but not a real Gundam universe.
Yeah. Oh no, I completely agree with that. But I still say that's one of the better ones to get into and enjoy by the end of it.
Oh yeah,
right.
Definitely. Yeah.
But fuck, there's things like Turn A, just dear God, Turn A, right? Reconquista in G.
I still haven't
watched that. I hate even remembering that exists.
Age is just
AG is AG is great sludge. Reconquista in G is just
battery acid.
Jackson. I wonder what battery acid tastes like.
Well, that's the thing. You can't remember because it destroys your memory of it. And that's happens to me. I can't remember. Reconquista G. What happened? I can't remember. No, my last point was prediction for next season, or well, how's the show going to progress and things? We're going to obviously get bigger fights and things. I'm expecting the mum to be the big bad guy in the end, and that there's going to be some.
Well, I mean, she's got the helmet, so she has to be.
Yeah, she's true. She's got the helmet, but like, there's some deeper secret going on here because I can't the shows normally end up with big faction fighting another big faction over some important things, some ideology. Now, apart from the Gundam stuff, which it hasn't been that hard a job to get like this technology brought back into the public consciousness and back in use. So that can't be the big thing of it. So what's the big thing going to be over?
I think there's something going on between her and what's the president's name? I can't remember his name.
Delling?
No. Delling.
Well done, Delling.
It is Delling. Yeah, I think there's something dodgy going on between her and Delling, which is seen in episode 11.
Yeah.
In fact, basically, I think as soon as he kicks the bucket, she will effectively gain control. She will oust at least 2, if not all 3 of the major companies in the group, especially considering 2 of them.
Oh yeah, the other guy's dead now too.
What do you mean the other guy's dead now too?
Jetrik's father.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but the company still exists.
Oh yeah.
But you can, they can just go like, well, your mobile suits were using.
Can we pause for a moment and look at the picture on screen?
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Anyway, but yeah, I think, and I that's kind of why it leads me down to the whole brainwashing thing. Is like, Celeste's brainwashing is effectively going to get undone, and then Celeste is just going to have to fight. And are we going to say the big thing about Eri?
Oh, Ariel, how you think that's her?
And Ariel, the same thing.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. We still haven't had on that, which is kind of cool going forward. But at the same time, we have had allusions to like there's like some crowd control going on Earth. You saw like some riots, and they were just using Gundams, which is something that has been used before. And you know, the riots do not stand up very well versus Gundams, or sorry, mobile suits. And but there's not a lot of conflict going on at the moment. Like, there's no nation states that I don't get how this is going to escalate or reveal anything bigger. So we're gonna have to see. You know,
I wonder if Ariel is going to join the Earth Witches. I'm wondering if it's going to be like a flat-out conflict between Earth and the Spacians, and they're gonna it could go in.
It's gonna be reclaiming Earth.
Effectively, maybe it could be a case of Minori ends up leaving Gunarm Inc. To flee to Earth, which she wanted to do originally, and then they end up rekindling their relationship when, you know, they're all together on Earth, and then they fight the Spacians.
Well,
Mummy dearest.
One of the things in the original Gun series is obviously that when people get into space, their consciousness are no longer being held by gravity and able to evolve into new forms and become new types. And a new type is able to pick the key thing what a new type is supposed to be able to do is be able to understand things and other people to a deeper level. Like they can sort of touch each other's consciousness. But at the same time, they can be given a computer and they'll know exactly how that computer works by just touching it, because that's what a new type is supposed to be able to do. And the goal of Xeon and things is originally, on part of it being twisted, is to push all of humanity to get into space and become new types, is kind of an underlying thing. I don't know if maybe Soletta's mum's going to push everyone to bio-augment forcibly. Yeah. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. I was actually thinking that they're working on making like power suits, or essentially take your head and put it on a robot body, and
I'm wondering if they're going to
like people-sized power suits.
But I know, but they force everyone to undergo Gundam.
Yes,
For some reason or another.
Oh, it's just flat out better. It's not just a replacement for a leg. It's better than a leg. You need this in your life. We're gonna help you by making you better.
Yep.
I am wondering if they're going to mass produce Gundams to some degree, because like that doesn't happen in every Gundam, but happens a non-zero amount of times. I remember they doing something similar in Gundam Wing.
In the original Gundam, there are Gundams and then GMs. GMs are Gundam mass production units.
Yeah. You know, so I'm wondering if they're going to do something like that as well. So
yeah. And what was I going to say? The Leo is technically a mass-produced Torgis. Anyway, what was I going to say? Was one last thing.
Is it?
Yes, that's what the Leo is, mass production toys. That was one point I was gonna say. Oh god. Oh yeah, no. Did you notice that the Gundams the other girls were flying were Lyriths?
Yes.
Which were clearly stolen from the prologue. Yeah.
Yeah. So Lyrith was the prototype
units. Yeah.
That led on to what we assume led on to Ariel, because that's how they escaped.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if this means that there are more witches on.
Are they building
Earth?
more than rifts? Yeah, we're going to see. Anyway, yes, I know it's the time now, because this one talk of us, one show. We should have done a whole episode on this.
Yes, no kidding.
Oh. Anyway,
we can turn into the Gundam series show.
Right, let's.
We'll just split it in half. You know.
That's wrong. It's a must-watch.
It's a must-watch. Okay, and let's move on. And let's close off there. So, by the way, I've just been looking stuff up. Spy Family has already got an approval for a season 2, which I think will be split over 2 curs, and it's had approval. It's going to get a movie this year.
That's not surprising.
This year?
Yeah. Spy Family has been renewed for season 2, and a theatrical movie has been announced, both of which are set to release in 2023.
I could have sworn we've talked about that on the Kanpai News at some point.
Yeah, I think we did.
I don't remember that, but
it's possible I missed it.
2023 though? I mean, that's fucking fast.
Well, if you imagine that they started working on it at the same time.
Yeah, but it's just like they fucking bet on that.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what are we on to now?
Supporter questions.
Supporter questions. Right. Okay. So it's time for the supporter questions.
Unfortunately, I don't think Cerebral got one in time. No, it doesn't look like it. Pass.
Okay.
Pass.
Okay.
Well, we didn't clear the channel out until today, so it's kind of anyway, whatever.
Right. So,
Why is this all underlined? I think I screwed something up somewhere. Oops.
I'm gonna blame you.
Yep.
Right, so, turkey, Christmas tree,
Star Wars?
Firework.
Star Wars. There we go,
Firework.
Star Wars.
My God.
Death Star exploding.
Nasuth, breaker of Tiamat heart.
Heart with arrow through it.
Shot through heart. Yeah.
That's not bad.
Asks, how was the winter season?
No.
Right, now that the underlining is really
Yeah.
good. Now that the winter season is finally done, is there a show you regret starting, even if you dropped it early? Yes, fucking Eminence in Shadow. I hate you both.
I am full range atomic.
And if you think I don't get that, I've seen the fucking memes.
No, he does another one where he says full
And
range.
yeah, I know. And if
Even
you
though
don't,
it's water
I
explosion.
yeah. Anyway, right. Okay. So, what about you two? Is there anything you wish, regretted you started?
Not this season. No, it's been alright. Stuff I've just been a bit mad, haven't got into finishing, but I don't regret.
Yeah. Yeah, I dropped a lot of stuff, but I don't really regret it, I guess. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, Nasuth also asks, why did Dracula bite the castle wall? He was trying to find the Castlevania. It is both good and bad.
Came up with that one all on my own.
2023 Be Hittin' asks, considering that the new season brings with it a show called Chillin' in My 30s After Being Fired from the Demon King's Army, are there any shows in recent years you felt were far too relatable?
Uncle from Another World.
How is that relatable?
You're from another world, are you, Nasuth?
No,
You
because...
have a relative that fell
because-
into a coma and then came back with magical powers?
Because it's all about that 90s nostalgia, and it's an old guy who can, is
Okay, I'll give you
essentially a shut-in neat,
Oh. High school double D. Completely relatable. Loz?
No, I can't think of anything. Sadly.
Cool. Right.
No, for Loz, it is the pharmacist guy in Another World. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, okay. 2023 Be Hittin' also asks, after watching the recently released first episode of Nier Automata version 1.1a, how much work do you think it would be? And even with that much work, how much do you want to do it anyway to create a puppet theater version of Notice Me Senpai?
Would love to do
dear
it.
God.
I mean, that's essentially what I am already.
I mean, that would be.
Isn't that what Notice Me Senpai is?
No.
They're all
They're
puppets.
not. That's not what he's referring to. At the end, have you seen the Nier Automata?
No,
episode?
no, that's fine. I'll watch it.
You'll watch it. You'll get it.
Oh.
I'd love to do it. Baby steps. Right. Okay. So now it is time to move on to the comments.
Which is still all underlined for some strange reason.
I don't know what the fuck you did. Anyway, first a comment from the Kanpai News. Is it underlined on mine?
There's a regular doc if you want to just read it from there.
No, it's all underlined anyway. Right, so first comment from the Kanpai Cast. Andrew...
Verba? VRBA?
Yeah, okay. That's a correct assertion about Vic Munyana's lawsuit. The...
SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States of America.
Thank you. Doesn't hear civil cases that aren't constitutional rights issues.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Their job is to literally interpret the Constitution. So unless
more or less,
it impinges on the right to bear arms, no one's going to talk to them about it.
Right. And
Vic
then...
Munyana was not allowed a gun in this situation.
Right. And now on to last week's Kanpai Cast comments. What was last week's episode?
The spicy one.
Oh, yes.
The spicy one.
Edward Paddock says, Xeno has adopted a cunning disguise, I see. That's because I shaved.
Yep.
Speaking of spicy artwork, I recall an excavation of an old Roman Empire period brothel that, because of all of the various different languages being spoken and the limited degree of literacy at the time, the transactions involved purchasing a token/coin that can displayed an illustration of an activity, and then the customer selected an employee to whom he would give the coin/token in exchange for the activity pictured on said coin/token. Stop. Right. An interesting discovery made at that dig was that the relative cost of the various different activities has remained constant over 2,000 years. In university, I had a friend who did their thesis on the positive impacts made by the adult entertainment industry. The venture capital that was invested... Jesus Christ, Az, could you not paraphrase this?
No.
The venture capital that
He commented you are reading the comic.
The venture LOZ, you paraphrase
I'll
the comment.
read it then. Come on, I'll read
No!
it. Come on. I'm reading
The
it.
the
Venture capital that was invested in the
the venture capital that was invested in developing the streaming technology that certain platforms utilize, as well as the technology as pay-per-view, was from smut peddlers. There you go.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. I do remember that when it came to things like which is going to win between
DVD.
No, VHS and beta, DVD and HD DVD.
No, it wasn't HD
No.
DVD. It was...
Oh, there was an alternative. I can't remember what it was.
There was. I can't remember what it was. There was also...
Blu-ray versus HD DVD.
Was it zip disc?
Yeah.
Yeah, so and it's like, well, which ones do they succeed? And it's whichever one the porn industry takes as standard was back then.
Yes.
And they I mean,
Still is today.
Yeah.
The streaming technology that they've pioneered, just crazy.
Correct.
Crazy.
And no, that's a fair point. It's quite interesting they're saying that. So they were.
Sorry, can I interrupt real quick?
Oh.
Do you know that YouTube actually started off as a dating website?
Oh, really?
Yes, it started off as a dating website, and the idea was that you take a video of yourself basically pitching yourself
like the old
to be,
dating
it's like, it was seriously, it was like all the way back when, but it very quickly got repurposed to people just creating video content for entertainment purposes.
That was probably a free place to just upload stuff.
Probably, yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, I know it's a show I remember watching. God, was it Sabrina the Teenage Witch? And they were like going date. They were like looking. They brought someone in to show them dating V8. They put tapes in. Different people.
That was actually a thing.
Pitching themselves. So yeah, I can see that happening for YouTube. Yeah, I mean it is. Yeah, it's really interesting.
I like this bit too. The fact that
that bit was quite interesting.
Price for certain activities has relatively remained constant. I mean, obviously inflation and changes and blah blah blah, but the actual like prices have remained relatively consistent. I really like that.
So that's the joke I was gonna make when you got these pictograms representing different things.
Yeah.
Basically, you've got Roman featured content tags. That's what it is, isn't it? It's basically what content tags you want.
That's think of the SEO.
Right. Stromber's Void Shell says, recognizing fewer characters from the guessing game than I'd like to. Recognized fewer characters from the guessing game than I'd like to.
Yeah, he wants to be better. He wants to be more like Thaylien.
Adorable. Okay. For picking tags, I could pick so many for both favorites and pass. It depends on my mood. There.
Can we just pause for a sec?
Sure. Cool. Right, and then Zrugel says, my power was out for New Year's. It sucked. I'm really sorry to hear that, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a happy New Year.
I mean, oh God, was it Friday? My heating broke, and like, Loz knows me. I don't like wearing socks. I'm wearing socks. Yeah. So.
I love wearing socks.
Okay.
Actually.
So now I can only assume it is time for the memes, as Nasuth has
Made the screen big so you can see things.
You know what? I want to do mine first.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Well, it
bucking the
is.
trend.
I guess it is. It is. Do you count episode 69 as our first New Year episode? I think this is our first real New Year episode. So that makes sense.
Should have been last year.
Yeah, exactly.
That my first one? Oh, that is my first one. Nobody! Anime character. Just a picture of Gundam. I don't know why Gordon Ramsay has a giant prop knife, but I mean, it screams to me Bleach so much.
Main character.
Yeah, main character.
That's why he has it. Main character.
Okay. My second meme, shy anime girls doing finger pointing things are just so cute. My favorite one was just a random
That's a bag of cement.
Is it fine? A random sack of cement? I'm like,
that's gotta be a reference to somebody.
I don't know, dude, right?
Oh, it's Bocchi the Rock! It's Bocchi the Rock! It's Bocchi the Rock!
No, it's the hunched shoulders thing.
Yeah, fair.
Right. My third meme. Cats when you give them a cat toy. What the fuck? Cats when you give them a fucking box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
This box was made for me.
Yeah. Honestly, before I left, I ended up unpackaging some stuff, right? Before I was leaving my parents. So I emptied out a box. Instantly, the cat was in it. It was
first they want to see what you're doing, and then they want to be in the box. Because box.
Oh, it's a box now.
No. Correct that. They want to be in their box.
Yes, their box.
Yes, their box.
Yeah. Oh, you took your stuff out of my box. Good. Right. My fourth meme. Right. So, okay. I'm hunting Dragon Balls, but I'm a girl dragon.
Oh my god.
My fifth meme. Of course. There's no logical reason to have a waifu award or anime award debate for 2003. But I have already won. I meet and surpass all the standards. Look me in the eye. You can't deny this.
I can.
To be.
And I will.
Right. And then last but not least.
Can I just point out? Oh.
Nope, you can't. And then it stops.
What was that? What was Comey destroying?
It was from Castlevania.
Oh, is it from Castlevania? Okay. I love that bang thing. It needs to be brought back more. It was just on a random. I thought they were going to do more things like that. They just did it on one episode. And it's just so amazing. Comey does the destroyer of all. No, can we go to me number 5? Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Because to me, I just want to find out, you're going to say, I was playing the bloody game or watching bloody anime. But to me, 2B is nothing but just a special character I get in collaboration and gadgets. I think in 5 separate games, I've gotten 2B as a collaboration in gadgets now.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's all 2B is to me.
Yep.
It's the hyped unit that gets some collaboration gadgets, and I always win and get 2B.
Okay. So then Nasuth.
Right, weebs, other weebs. I agree with you, but you're pure scum. That's how they felt about me with Gundam today. So
Yep. You're right.
Me wanting No Game No Life Season 2, another trashy.
We have to get Naz to watch Scarlet just to understand this meme, but it's so good.
Yeah.
If I had to watch all JoJo just to understand the JoJo memes.
Well, I was shopping for a new car. Which one's me? A cool convertible or an SUV? Too bad I didn't know my credit was whack, cause now I'm driving off the lot in a used subcompact FREE. That spells free. Creditreport.com, baby. Saw the ads on my TV. Thought about going, but was too lazy. Now it's fat. My legs are sticking to the vinyl and my pussy getting laughed at. FREE. That spells free. Creditreport.com, baby. Offer applies with enrollment and triple advantage.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
Apparently, the show is called Lolly, which, I mean, obviously, I don't know what it's about. I don't want to know what it's about. The fact that song works so well with the opening,
I hope it just get right.
That could have been improved if it ended with it started with the end of a normal credit advert, and then it did Japanizing beam.
If this is her vibes, Devilman Crybaby, Evangelion, Lane, Akira, Perfect Blue, Berserk, Run.
Yep.
Run.
Yep.
Speaking of the Japanizing beam.
Yep.
Japanizing beam.
And finally, say it again, Sid.
Fuck.
Atomic.
Oh.
I'm gonna do Atomic.
Oh god. Right. Can we, before we do, can we put my 6th meme on just again?
Okay.
Just one more time.
I love it.
Memes. Number 6. Sorry.
Let's go again. Let's go again. Let's go again.
Well, I have to actually go to a different meme,
Yeah.
then come back. Zeno spent so much time and effort getting this to work, and it is worth it.
I put too much time.
So worth it.
I don't want to give you more I don't want to give spoilers for Komi, but like, oh my god, we need later seasons of Komi.
I'm honestly surprised you didn't react at all. So,
Yeah,
what do you mean we have video memes?
You're gonna go back and talk about that other meme. I'm gonna go back and talk.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't react at all that we got video memes with audio.
I thought that it was just your. After we had the audio at the start for the intro,
I fucking told you! You fucking spoiled it!
Damn it!
I just thought that was like part of that improvement.
It is.
Oh, well, the audio is, yeah, but not the video is.
I told you you spoiled it!
I mean, I did the when Nasuth did the Komi meme was alright, but then I was smiling ear to ear on the car, whatever the one was.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. But the sad thing is, you know what I have to say next, don't you?
No? You're atomic?
When are you going to implement this at 10 o'clock?
Do you want it for 10 o'clock?
Why not?
Because you love your secret memes.
I've only ever done. I know. I'd still have a secret meme, but I only do that. There's hardly any videos. I only do that because we never could do videos, and I never asked you if we could do videos.
Well, now you can.
That's fine.
Yeah,
We'll just take that. We'll extract that technology from Kanpai Cast.
I'm just going to point out, it took me fucking forever to do it for Kanpai Cast. Anyway, right.
Have we had any of the improvements on 10 o'clock that have been promised?
Yes.
What,
I gave you... Huh?
You do them again.
No, I got you your bloody list of all the topics and everything.
Oh yes, you brought up one asset, which is an image of the topics in one.
It's not an image. It's not an image.
I don't care. It is still an image.
I had to. Do you know how much I had to rebuild from scratch? Like all. Oh god, I can't fucking win. Right. Okay. So if you wish to see more memes, you could go to twitter.com/Kanpai_cast and you can find more memes daily. Right. Okay. Next week we have the Golden Tankard Awards. Where we choose the best stuff of last year with lots of different categories and stuff. And then, so that's it. Thank you all for watching / listening, and especially to the Gundam hour. That was a random segment in that.
I think it was 50 minutes, but alright.
Huh? It's
Good enough.
45 minutes, okay.
With commercials,
Gundam hour. Yeah, Gundam hour. There you go. And now it's time to bottoms up and Kanpai! I was just busy getting drunk.
Kanpai. I've just realised, can I get a custom tankard like Nasuth? But actual tankard.
I don't see why not. Let's make some merch. Let's see if we can make some merch. Merch cast.
Like, if we were going to have merch thing, like we should have merch. That'd be. If we can have one thing, yeah.
Oh my god.